What's up, gamers and brainiacs? It's Foxtrot here, and today, well, we're continuing where we left off. Yes, or not yesterday, but some time ago. But yeah. Um, sorry, my mind's a little off right now. Uh, okay. Never mind. We're gonna get into this, and then we're sorry. Okay, so why is my mind so off right now? Okay, this is part two of My Arms Are Blue by the Coyote Vixen, and I need to speak up a bit, excuse me. So, yeah, we'll be doing this, the reading the story again. It's by the Coyote Vixen, and it's by My Arms Are Blue. If you haven't seen the previous video, you can check it out. There's probably like something on the side. Probably should have put a link in the description. Oh well, can't do that now since we're live. If it was any other video, I could, but I can't. Oh, well, then again, I can edit it afterwards. Anyway, blah, blah, blah. We're going to read the story. But give me a minute. Something I got to do. All right. Sorry, I had to take care of some personal business real quick. Personal prayers, if you will. My bad. Sorry. Well, it's just my religion. It's what happens. Anyway, actually, I don't know if religion is the right word for Christianity anymore. But anyway, enough about that. It's my beliefs, I guess, better word. And shouldn't not that, my bad. Anywho, we're gonna get into this story now, and I feel a little bit better about reading it now that I've taken care of that. So I'm going to get into this. So once again, it's by the KUB Vixen, who is like the best writer. Well, maybe I shouldn't say that. Playing favorites and all that, but still, she's amazing. She's like one of the best writers. In fact, she was the first writer I ever found when I joined Fanfiction.net, and she was amazing. In fact, I forget why I even joined Fanfiction.net. It happened, according to what I remember, it happened in like, well, from what I remember, due to like messages and whatever, it happened in like 2015 or so. So yeah, golly, that's a pretty good rap, I guess. Yeah, like the summer after I started YouTube for the first time. That's fun. But anyway, I forget how I found it. Was it due to? It might have been due to this YouTube series I watched, or not YouTube series, YouTube group I watched. Anyway, it's not enough about that. I can discuss that in another video. Anyway, this is Kyuubi's story. I own no rights. All I can really say is Kyuubi is one of the best writers, and I'm reading her story with her permission. So let's get into it. I've taken up enough time as it is, so I am going to do this. Move this corner here. Well, I'm gonna go to home on YouTube. You guys can still see me, right? Still see me. Yeah, you can still see me. Okay. Okay, so I'm not gonna screen share, because I don't really want to do that. Like, if you've seen the first video, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. But okay, sorry. So once again, sorry if my voice is low for this, because I don't want to wake everybody. Everything. Okay, let's go. All right, but first we have a disclaimer here. Disclaimer: I don't own any. This is from Kyuubi. Disclaimer: I don't own anything relating to the show or to the games. Thanks so much for the support for this story, guys. I really like this fic. I guess that's short for fiction. Anyway, I really like this fic, and I'm glad you all do too. I'm not going to yabber on too much here, so read on. Okay, I mean, it's a let's read. See, because you have the let's play, let's watch. This is what I call a let's read. Yeah. Hey guys, the third chapter is up, so I may or may not read it in this video, because that would be my first reaction to it, actually, and I'm really want to read that. But considering how long the last video was, I really don't want to make this video drag out for 3 hours just to get through it. So, I mean, of course, when I create the playlist for this story, no one's going to care. But, yeah, let's go. All right, into the story. Past the disclaimer, straight to it. Let's see if we can do this a little faster. All right, doing the voices. Come on, Shads. Sonic shoveled hot and delicious scrambled eggs into his mouth. Oh, scrambled eggs. Oh, those are so good. Scrambled eggs. Scrambled eggs. Why am I so focused on food? I'm gonna get some grape juice later. He spoke around the munching goodness as he pointed his fork at his rival on the opposite couch. At least try some. Tails wasn't the one who stuck you in here, saying that. If you haven't read the previous chapter, you're not going to get this, but I probably should have done what do they call that? An up to speed something. You get the idea. A catch up or something like that. I don't know. Last chapter, Sonic went out for a run, came home because it started raining, found a TV. Tails didn't build it. Tails was the only one home. Next thing they know, they get a surprise letter that writes itself. Don't know how. Could be invisibility. After all, we all know that SPO can turn invisible and all that, do stuff. I don't know. Even though logic dictates that wouldn't be possible. Not a chameleon turning invisible. I mean, being able to see when you're invisible, to be able to do that. I don't know. Somehow this thing controls the weather too. Anyway, now Eggman and Shadow are there. And Knuckles, my bad. And Amy. What am I doing? Okay, so those 6 characters, they all excuse me, they're all in there. I was going to say they're all got in there, so my bad. But anyway, so they all are there. and basically they're not allowed to leave until they watch every episode of Sonic Boom. And so they already watched the trailer. They were hungry. Tails made some eggs. Boom, up to speed. That's where we are. Let's go. Anyway, Shadow's eyes narrowed into slits as he stabbed the eggs on his plate, scraping his utensil unintentionally against the glass underneath. Tails' ears plastered. Oh, when you drag like a fork against glass, I don't have that right now, thank goodness, because you guys are not like it. And I don't have really long nails either, so I can't make that kind of sound. Oh boy. But you guys know this. I don't know. Basically, it's like nails grinding on chalkboard. You guys know what I'm talking about. That should be enough. Anyway, Tails' ears plastered themselves against his head at the terrible sound. Excuse me. He inwardly grumbled as he chose his breakfast. He had slaved over the stove for all of them, and this was how he was appreciated? Yeah. Yeah, Shadow. Tails is gonna sit there and make you eggs all day. Well, not all day, excuse me. He's just gonna sit there. Oh, well, not sit. Stand there over a stove, cooking for you, and you're just gonna have ultimate hatred. I mean, I understand. Well, then again, I probably should have said this too. Shadow is kind of tired. So yeah. Also, Amy is in her pajamas, and Knuckles is kind of angry because he's not in front of his emerald. Big Master Emerald thing. Yeah, okay, back to the story, though. Okay, this was how he was appreciated. Though, honestly, the kid couldn't have expected anything else. It was Shadow the Stubborn Hog. Shadow the Stubborn Hog. Shadow the Stubborn Hog, after all. Shadow. You see, the thing about this is that I'm looking at words while I do this, but you guys are looking at my face, so yeah, I know this probably looks weird. Shadow the Stubborn Hog. Okay. And plus, Shadow hadn't actually said yes when he asked. Yeah, Shadow didn't because he doesn't feel like talking because he's tired. Knuckles, who had scarfed down his meal already, eyed his neighbors. Shadow was missing out. The kid could make some mean eggs. Hey, if you don't want... I'm sorry. Shadow growled at him like a dog protecting its bones. I don't know why that's so funny to me. It's just like, I mean, I know that's probably what I should expect. Shadow growling like, or something. The echidna but anyway, back to the story. The echidna blinked. The hedgehog was not taking this whole hostage thing well. A simple no would have been enough. Sonic rolled his eyes as he swallowed a bite. Oh, for the love of Shadow! And thank you, Kyubi, for writing it that way. Love of, and then he just says the name. Thank you. You don't know how many people would have probably written it another way that would have been, well, how would I put it exactly? Offensive, I guess, to Christians. I mean, I don't want to sound like I don't want to sound like people have to do what I want because I'm not trying to force my religion upon anybody, but it does displease me a little bit when I see things like that. I don't hate the people for it, just wish they wouldn't do that. Anyway, this is now me in this video, so let's go. The hero, anyway, so he says, oh, for the love of Shadow, the hero gestured to Eggman. The human was stabbing the eggs like they had wronged him as well, but at least he was reluctantly enjoying them. Eggy's eating them, and he's in a worse situation than you. He hates being trapped, and he hates all of us. There have never been truer words, Cactus, the doctor huffled, silently loving how his egg had been seasoned. Wow. Tails, can I have some eggs? Please? Man, now I'm getting hungry and I just had dinner. And I just had hot dogs. No, I did not have chili dogs. Yes, I know. I know. Missed opportunity, but still. Anyway. And you think my hatred for all of you is any less? Shadow wanted no more of this. He wanted to leave, forget that all of this happened, and enjoy the eggs in peace. I despise all of you. What a jerk. Like I know you're in a bad mood, but I didn't think Shadow hated everybody. I mean, sure, he and Sonic have butted heads. I was about to say butted tails. Wow. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Ah boy. But they butted heads on a couple of occasions. But I didn't think he necessarily hated them. Like golly, like Shadow, why you gonna be like that, man? Like you've worked with them. You even in Generations you said you get this, Sonic. I mean, so you were somewhat with him, I guess. Well, then again, Enforces you're a bad guy again. By the way, that trailer was awesome. Yes. Okay. Want to play Forces, but that's not right now. Okay. Back to the story. Sonic chuckled. If you wore pants, they'd be. Another reference to that. Reference to the fact that the Sonic can. Well, then again, I guess the Sonic Boom show kind of does that on its own, and that's Sega themselves. So actually, I can't really be mad at this. Sonic chuckled. If you wore pants, they'd be on fire right now, Shads. The fork in a certain hedgehog's hand snapped in half. I'm going to guess that he was. Wait, but earlier didn't it say that he scraped the fork against glass, a glass plate? So if it was a plastic fork, then how on earth would you get that scraping? Whoa, Shadow must really be angry if he's snapping like metal in half. Yeah. Okay. I mean, have you tried asking nicely for the thing to let you go? The thing being the thing that trapped them there, saying they're not allowed to leave. How it does it, I have no idea. Hopefully it's not magic. But let's see. Okay. Tried asking nicely for the thing to let you go. Okay, I'm going to be honest. I have read this chapter before. The third one I have not read. Relax. I said in the previous video that I've read the first and second chapter already, but this chapter is gonna. But this is probably one of my favorite parts in all of fanfiction and Sega. If you ever find this video, can you please just put Kayubi like on Sega and just like with Aaron Weber and just like make this a meme or something? Because this is about to be hilarious. Just wait for it. Okay. Asking nicely for the thing to let you go. You know, back to the story. Amy ate the last of her breakfast, tilting her head a bit. Do you really think that'll work? Because if it did, she had to quickly prepare a speech so she could at least go freshen up. Knuckles got more comfortable and gave Shadow his full attention. There's only one way to find out. Oh, there's only one way to find out. This should be good. Yep, Shadow is about to beg for this thing to let him go, and it gets so straight up. Well, funny. Why was I gonna say it gets hard for him to say that? I guess that kind of makes sense. I mean, anyway, my bad. Apparently, they're ready to love it then. Believing that Sonic's suggestion might actually have some validity, I think that's how you pronounce that, to it. Shadow took a deep breath and let his sharp facial features smoothen out. He raised his chin and gazed at the ceiling, even though the thing could be anywhere or everywhere. So basically, it's kind of like he's praying, I guess. I don't know. He parted his lips. Dear whoever is listening, dear whoever is listening, can I please return to my home? I mean, I guess technically it's not praying, I guess. Because it's not like he's like talking to the supernatural. He's not talking to God here. But uh, but still, and it did say he could be anything, anywhere, or everywhere. I don't really. Why am I going so far into detail with this? You get my point. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. I don't know. He's not praying to God. He's trying to talk to this thing, reason with it. I guess it's not exactly prayer. Anyway, everyone actually expected something to happen, but nothing did. Sonic couldn't hold in his snort. Gotta try harder. Shadow's grip increased on his plate. Pretty please. His reputation just burst into flames. He ignored the snickers to the best of his ability. Yup, he's actually doing it. Go that extra mile, Shads. What's the last thing you put on a milkshake? No. Yup. The striped hedgehog was surprised that his teeth didn't shatter as he ground them together. With a cherry on top. Yes, it actually says that. Maybe I shouldn't do that in the voice because I'm ruining it. With a cherry on top. What? Does this sound somewhat British? Anyway, let's stop that. No response, and he broke his plate as well. Eggs sloshed onto his lap and the floor. The room was silent as Shadow stiffly picked up pieces of his breakfast and placed them back on the two halves of the plate. He stood up and stomped into the kitchen. I'm guessing the pieces of his breakfast that he placed back on the plate was from his lap and not from the floor. Hopefully. Please. Anyway, worried about the fate of the many fragile items in the other room, Tails hopped to his feet. Oh, sorry, gotta do the voice. Is, everyone done? Why do I say it like that? Is, everyone done? There we go, that's better. I can't just do the voice, I've gotta also do the tone. There were multiple nods, and the kit hurriedly gathered the others' dishes and scrambled into the kitchen. Amy saw that Sonic was occupied laughing at Tails' back, and she took her chance. The pinkhead slid over and leaned against the suddenly rigid hero's arm. She locked her elbow with his. Watching the show would be so much better with us like this, don't you think? Why did I turn her into Minnie Mouse? I need to stop. The girl then blinked when her fingers were gripping nothing but air. Surprised jade orbs drifted over to where Sonic had taken Shadow's seat. The Azure speedster uneasily chuckled. Hey, Exter, crazy weather we're having today, yeah? He asked, pointedly ignoring that "you will be mine" coming from a pouting pinkette. Oh, boy. Don't drag me into your irritating antics. Eggman scowled, even though he had already been dragged and trapped. I'm already stuck in here with you. I want no part in helping you deal with your emotions. The only emotion I'm dealing with is terror, Sonic mumbled with a... Oh. Sonic, no offense, but that's kind of jerkish. Like, rude for you to just blow off the girl as terror. Like, I understand Amy's a bit of a stalker. In fact, I'm really glad Sonic Boom made her less of a stalker. But still, like, dude, that's like so the wrong way to do that. Knuckles scoffed. You're a real gentleman, you know that? Thank you, Knuckles. I agree with you. I actually agree with you on this. Yes, I am. I just gave Amy the whole couch. If that's not chivalry, I don't know what is. Oh, wow. I can't clap my hands loud, so congratulations, Sonic. Trying to make an excuse out of that. Bravo, bravo. It was then. It was then Tails and Shadows re-entered the shadows. It was then Tails and Shadow re-entered the room, then both staring at Sonic. One was one was confused while the other was severely irked. Care to guess which one? I'm talking to you guys, by the way. I'm trying to act like I'm looking in a different way so that you guys know. Anyway, we all know which one it is. Okay, I need to scroll the story up a bit. Okay, there we go. Tails glanced at a down-crested Amy and drew the conclusion that Sonic might have hightailed it. Yup, not caring that much about the seating arrangement now that the magical storm was over. Tails palmed the remote the Azure Anthro had left and popped a squat. Pop a squat on the couch, man. I mean, hey, I use that language too. Pop a squat on the couch, man. Or in this case, this chair. Awesome office chair. Okay, Shadow gave his rival a look, and Sonic was surprised that he didn't burst into flame. Wow. The ultimate life form sat down on the other side of Amy and glared at the screen. His molten gaze dropped when a stress ball with a smiley face materialized in his lap. Without second thought, Shadow picked it up and squeezed rapidly. Heavily breathing as if he'd explode any minute. I like how like a stress ball with a smiley face. Could you just like imagine that? You're just sitting there and then like it just falls in my lap and then I just hold it up and it's just like got a little smiley face on it. ... Smile. What's so funny about that is that could you just it's just like the image of that happening, and also the fact that I'm surprised Shadow doesn't get like even angrier at the fact that he sees that. He's just like he should be like, for real. Anyway, Amy suddenly feared for her life. She suddenly scooted closer to Tails. I think you should play it now, Tails. The kid wholeheartedly agreed. Let's try to get this over with as soon as possible. He pressed play and the episode began. I know I don't do Amy and Tails' voice right. You don't have to tell me that. Okay, just so you guys know, so we can deal with this whole back and forth thing, I'm going to say go to bold, which means that basically they're watching something. And when I say out of bold, that basically means it's going back to the normal story and not Sonic Boom TV show. Anyway, go into bold. Or I'll say something similar to that. Anyway, a bright canyon faded into view, the screen showing off the bright blue sky before dipping down between the towering cliffs. Eggman and his hovercraft then sped into view, avoiding the sheer walls. Wait, Tails paused it. Haven't we seen that before? It was in the trailer, right? Sure is, bud, Sonic answered as he stretched, slightly brushing Eggman in the process. The doctor's eye twitched in annoyance. Sonic scratched his full stomach. So, the trailer was just a shorter version of this, or... Well, maybe if we play it, we'll figure that out, Knuckles advised, nodding over to the kit, who I guess pressed... Oh, crud, I didn't say out of bold, did I? Sorry, guys. Made a mistake, my bad. Back to bold. Sonic appeared as well, feet thudding against the rocky ground as he gave chase. You can't lose me, Egghead. Eggman punched his dashboard in frustration. Eggman! You know my name is Dr. Eggman. You do that on purpose. The Azure hero had a cheeky grin on his face. Do what, Egghead? Okay, so... Out of bold? Amy pointed at the screen in excitement. Eggman's expression darkened further, if that was even possible. Yes, and I'm so glad to see that the rodent is still as irritating as he is now. Some things never change, Egghead. Sonic nudged the doctor with his elbow and removed it before he got smacked. For example, you're still as bald as ever. Eggman's twitch became more prominent. Back to bold. Sonic continued to run after the human through through the canyon up until the point the hedgehog had to slide to a stop to avoid tumbling off of an unexpected cliff. Whoa! Oh! He shouted as his arms waved about. He took a step back after regaining his balance, looking relieved. Out of bold, both Shadow and Eggman imagined him taking a dive, and their moods temporarily rose. Aww. Okay, not Shadow. Eggman, I can imagine doing that, but Shadow, come on, bro. You may be rivals, but that's just kind of mean, dude. The screen zoomed out to show a huge hole with lava at the bottom before focusing on a floating Eggman. Back to bold. The screen zoomed out to show a huge hole with lava at the bottom before focusing on a floating Eggman. It all ends here, old friend. Prepare to be destroyed by Burnbot. He gestured over to a red and clawed robot standing at the lip of the cliff. Out of bold. Knuckles furrowed his brow. Didn't they know the end of this already? Sonic was spin dashing this bot at the end of the trailer. Why were they watching this episode then? Couldn't they just skip? His thoughts derailed when a sudden chill went down his spine. Glancing around, it seemed like he was the only one affected. All right, the thing could read minds too. Noted. Please don't kill me. I have a precious rock to protect. Oh, I love it. It's so good. Back to Bowl. So what, Sonic smirked. He's gonna burn me with flamethrowers or something? Eggman scratched his head, a bit flustered. Flamethrowers? Well, no. Oh, acid? The hero began throwing out guesses. Incendiary grenades. No. The claws. The doctor gestured at Burnbot, who pinched its fingers together. Yes, claws. Very painful claws. Sonic clearly was entertained by this. Then you should have called him Clawbot or the Lacerator or Pinchatron 9000, but Burnbot. I mean, that's just false advertising. Out of bold. I totally agree with him. Sonic's brow furrowed. Me? Anyway, what's with the name, Eggy? It doesn't make sense. Sonic, sorry if I'm ruining Sonic's voice now. Don't ask me. Eggman's mustache flared. Ask future me that apparently has lost one too many brain cells. I don't know, Eggman. Knuckles leaned up to lock eyes with the man. You keep saying that you get dumber, but I don't think you've changed at all. Denial much? If the human had his robots, he would have showed that a kid know what for. As things were, however, he bit his tongue before he got covered with purple bruises. Yup. Oh, did I say out of bold? I think I did. I hope I did. Sorry. Okay, you guys know that all of that was, most of that was out of bold, right? Okay, good. Back to bold. Eggman was certainly not amused. I named the robot Sonic, he growled. Burnbot, attack! Sorry, that's as loud as I can be right now. Again, it's late. Burnbot jumped down to a lower ledge and sped towards Sonic. Said Hedgehog, not intimidated in the slightest, ran in the opposite direction, heaving directly across from Burnbot as they slowly spiraled deeper into the crater. Tails flew over the screen in his blue plane. Out of bold? Sonic and Tails shared excited looks. The kid then sobered a bit. Was the little fight he and Sonic had in this episode? If so, oh boy. Oh yeah, fight. Not good. Back to bold. Blue Leader, this is Yellow Sky. The kid spoke into his headset. I have eyes on Burnbot. He's on the move. Over. Out of bold. Obviously, Shadow muttered, still squeezing the stress ball. Well, yeah. It's pretty obvious Burnbot is on the move. Okay, I guess. Yeah, it does make kind of sense. Back to bold. Thanks, Tails, Sonic said into a communicator on his wrist. Initiate speeding swing surprise. The pilot immediately dove into the canyon, passing Eggman and making him spin. Tails activated his energy beam. A certain kid on a couch... Oh, wait. Out of bold. A certain kid on the couch was enraptured again by the sight of the new tool. Back to bold. As Sonic and Burnbot leap at each other. Time slowed down as the plane ducked lower, the hedgehog catching the glowing rope. Sonic swung around behind the robot and kicked it into the far wall, Burnbot falling to the ground afterwards. Out of Bold. All in a day's work, Sonic smugly thought. Back to Bold. Eggman lowered himself and yelled at his creation. Get up, get up, get up! Back to Bold. Amy watched as Burnbot got to its feet. It kind of looked familiar. Shadow. Oh, sorry. Shadow, doesn't that sort of look like Omega? Don't talk to me. Well, maybe he didn't say it like that, but still, you get the idea. She didn't want to mess with the bull. Got it. Yeah, don't mess with the bull or you'll get the horns. Although then again, doesn't saying got it technically count as talking to him? Well, I guess, well, I don't know. Well, maybe it does, maybe it doesn't, because maybe she's not. Why am I trying so hard to reason with this? Anyway, back to Bold. Burnbot looked up, seeing Tails fly by. It raised an arm and shot it right at the plane's wing, severely damaging it. Did I almost say Dame a second ago? Like a Great Dane, only with an M? My bad. The aircraft corkscrewed as a concerned Sonic watched on. He shouted into his communicator, "Bail, Tails, bail!" The kid pulled the eject lever, but it broke off in his hand. Sonic stepped forwards to help, but Burnbot stood in his way. Out of Bold. Out of the way, Chrome Dome! Sonic yelled, his good mood gone. Tails was about to crash, and that hunk of junk had the nerve to just... It can't hear you, Faker. Hush it, Shads! Play with your toy! Oh, boy. Shadow snarled, but did it anyway. Not because he was told to, but because it kept him from acting out and potentially ticking the thing off again. Back to Bold. Sonic sidestepped and attacked before spin dashing a large loose rock on a cliff above Burnbot. It crashed down on the bot, keeping it from moving. Sonic jumped up high out of the crater just in time to see Tails crash in the distance. Tails, no! He gazed on in horror before racing over. Okay, out of Bold, but before we get into that, I just want to say, when I first saw the trailer for that episode and I saw Tails crash, I didn't know what to think. I didn't know if he like jumped out or something. But one of the immediate thoughts that went through my head is he's dead. Sega just killed off Tails. Because for some reason I get the feeling that Sega hates Tails. I don't know why, but for some reason I don't know. Maybe it's just me being stupid, but when I watched some of the older episodes, for some reason I just felt like all the bad stuff in the show just like had to happen to Tails for some reason. Episode 1, the plane crash, obviously. Episode 2, well, technically he and Sonic shared it, but the whole getting tired. But then again, he got the short-term memory loss. The episode with the barking dog, I know they all got barked on, but Tails got barked on more than anyone. Not to mention, he later got swallowed by an octopus at the end of the episode. Yeah, of all the characters, had to be him. And let's not forget the episode about the whole Knuckles and Knuckles believing he had bad luck. But I don't believe in luck, so. But anyway, who's the one who gets who basically gets bad stuff happen to him at the end of the episode instead of Knuckles? Well, who would have guessed it? It's Tails. Yeah, why does the bad stuff gotta happen to him? I don't know. Sega, if you want to kill him off, just can we at least just have the fight between Sonic and Tails in a game first? Please. Just do that. You'll make the fans so happy. Thank you. Have a good day. Anyway, back to the story. Well, that's... Tails didn't know what to say. He possibly got injured in what? Within 3 minutes of starting the episode? Would this happen often? Amy was concerned. There was no way that Tails could walk away from that. You show up later though, remember? So you can't be that hurt, right? Knuckles didn't want to be a pessimist, but it could be out of order, he said slowly. You mean like SpongeBob? where all the episodes happen out of order. Well, technically, that's something I actually don't like in cartoons. I actually like stories. It's the reason why I watch a TV show. Like, have you guys ever seen Teen Titans Go? Like, I get if you stop thinking about the original Teen Titans, the show is actually kind of funny. But if you see it and remember like the original Teen Titans, you'll want the original Teen Titans with the story and the cool action, not all this goofy like making the Teen Titans 7 years old or acting like 7 year olds, I guess, or something like that. Anyway, back to the story. Okay, anyway, could be out of order, he said lowly. It isn't because Amy's right, Sonic pipped up with a determined look on his face. Tails will make it through. He's tough as nails. It'll take more than a plane crash to take him out. Sorry if I'm rushing through that, but yeah, Sonic is pretty much panicking. Tails smiled at his bro's words. Yeah, I've been through worse, and I'm still here. The echidna grinned. You gotta be tough if you hang around Sonic all day. Wherever he goes, danger and the occasional world-ending apocalypse follows. Sonic forces. Sonic 06. Sonic Unleashed. Okay, I think you guys get the point. By the way, I probably would have like done all three of them at once, but I just kind of thought of them one at a time, I guess. World-ending apocalypse follows. Now that the atmosphere was not as tense, the show played on. Back to bold, I guess. We'll be back, Sonic! Eggman activated a magnet in his hovercraft. He lifted Burnbot out from under the massive rock, grunting. Oof, you are heavy. Seriously, Burnbot, you could stand to burn a few calories. I see the pun. Out of bold. Sonic scoffed at that pun. You try hard. Knuckles wasn't so positive. So you're basically just going to go after potentially injuring or killing Tails. He said incredulously. Yeah, as I said before, I thought he was dead. What? Eggman shrugged. You expect me to care about the things my robots destroy? Okay, that's cold. I mean, I know you're a cold, heartless villain, but that's a kid, man. Like, Tails is like, what, 8 years old according to the regular canon, so 14 according to this? Well, then again, that means Sonic's 16 according to regular canon, or 15, whichever you go by. I guess I'm going by 16 because of his birthday and Sonic Generations. But still, it doesn't matter. Still, that's kind of dark. He had nowhere near enough compassion stored inside of him to complete that feat. Nowhere near enough compassion to care about the things your robots destroy. No compassion whatsoever. Yeah, so basically the world could end all... Well, actually, no, let's not make a joke about that. Yeah. Well, it wasn't just a world ending. I was going to make it a lot more personal, and then I realized that would be very, very dark. So yeah, let's stay out of that. The echidna deadpanned at him before raising a brow. So you admit that you didn't really change. Eggman stiffened. I said no such thing. No, you just played yourself. Sonic moved his fingers in a keep going motion. Keep it rolling, little bro. Okay, back to bold. Sonic pulled a wounded Tails out of the wreckage and laid him gently on the ground. He rested his ear against the kid's chest and sighed in relief at the sound of the other's heartbeat. Keep resting, pal. I'll get you home. Sonic stood back up with Tails in his arms. I promise, I'll never let anything like this happen to you again. The hedgehog walked off screen, out of bold. Shadow leaned back into the couch, relaxing into the cushion. He was throwing his ball up and down. That is the most serious I've ever seen you, Hedgehog. It's a nice change from how you are now. Sonic ignored that jab. Well, yeah, Tails isn't in the best shape, but I wonder what I mean by that. Tails thought about the name of the episode and a light bulb went off. You aren't going to replace me, are you? Course not. No one can replace my baby brother. Tails grumbled about not being a baby anymore as he played the show. Camera. Sorry, guys. Gotta cover the camera real quick. Da da dum da da dum 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 dum. Thank you for stopping by. Okay. We're good. Okay. Back to Bold. The scene changed and a couple of hanging pictures were shown. One was the two brothers fishing, and the other was them playing video games. Have you ever wondered, like, video game characters playing video games? What if they were playing a Sonic game, though? Like I know they're not, but still. Anyway, out of Bold. Where are those hanging? Amy questioned as she glanced around at the surrounding walls. Because your walls look nothing like that. Tails shrugged. Maybe we moved? I haven't seen the canyon from earlier before. Back to Bold. A bandaged Tails was laying on a green couch. Was lay, well, technically past tense, so past tense of lie is lay, so my bad. On a green couch. After a second, he blinked his eyes open and sat up, rubbing his wrappings. Yeah, because he's got wrappings around his head from the show, you know. Sonic, his voice was raspy. I guess that means like weak. I don't see that word much. I mean, I think I understand what it means, but still. The Azure Hedgehog stepped closer to him. Hey, buddy, how you feeling? Back out of Bold. Wherever you moved to, Knuckles snorted. You sure downgraded. Hey, at least we have air conditioning, unlike a certain hermit I know, Sonic retorted and flinched when the Guardian flicked him on his arm. Okay, back to Bold. I'm great, Tails stood up, ready to get back into action. Sonic suddenly looked uncomfortable. Yeah, about that? He meekly scratched his head. I've got some great news. You, my friend, are taking early retirement. I remember seeing this in the episode. Like, I really didn't think much about it, I guess, because I was just watching, wanting to know what would happen and everything. But still, I want to see what's going on. So, I wanted to see what's going on. And I've read this before, and, well, yeah, let's just keep going. Out of Bold. Tails slouched, feeling betrayed. Yeah, I'm totally being replaced. Aww. That's kind of sad, actually. Like if Tails was real and he actually watched that and believed that was his future. Like, I could believe him being like that. Sonic frowned at the kid. I would never do that. We stick by each other through thick and thin. The hero then pursed his lips, staring at the screen. What am I thinking? My bad. You're not. Knuckles couldn't see this happening either. Those two were basically inseparable. You're acting on impulse, which wouldn't be the first time. I mean, he did get hurt pretty bad, Amy played with one of her hanging quills. Maybe you really don't want to see Tails in pain again? It makes sense. It didn't matter if it did. Sonic and Tails weren't happy about this development. Back to Bold. Oh, and this is where the running joke of this story begins. One I actually commented to Kyubi about, saying it. I mean, because I think it's funny and it works here, but as I've said before, I've got to keep this story. I've got to keep what I read family friendly for my YouTube channel here. So, yeah, that means I can't make reference to this joke. So, well then. If you guys want to read the original story, link is in the description below so you can check it out for yourselves. Keep mining. The story is rated T for teen, but of course I'm censoring out certain parts. I've already talked to Kyubi about this. Why am I talking so fast? Although I probably should have mentioned this at the beginning. Sorry if I haven't. Anyway, let's keep going. How is my battery doing, by the way? Oh, crud, 12%. I'm going to have to plug in soon. And we're not even halfway through. Yay. Okay. Anyway, back to Bold. Early retirement, Tails repeated, confused. Yeah, you're going to be able to play lots of golf and spend time with the grandkids. I don't have grandkids, the fox argued. Sonic pointed at him. Well, now's your chance to get some. Yeah, I remember that. That's still a weird comment. Also, um, um, so, basically, I'm going to say something real here because I could go out of old because technically it does go out of old, but then again, that's where they explain that joke I was talking about. So we're not gonna go there. But also, why is it the stereotype that like grandparents just do nothing but play golf and spend time with the grandkids? I mean, don't get me wrong. I have a golfer's hat. I didn't bring it with me. Probably should have worn it for this video. Golf hat's awesome. Well, technically, I guess it's a French hat, but still, it works as a golfer's cap, and I like it. Anyway, so we're going to continue with the bold as if this out of bold thing doesn't exist because, yeah. The running joke is funny. Trust me, Kyubi, I love the joke that you put in here, and I myself find it funny, but there are some younger ears that I'm pretty sure don't need to hear that, so I'm not going to say that on the internet, okay? Thank you. I know you understand. Okay, so still bold because we skipped that. Trust me, it's for the best. Sonic hugged the younger boy for a second before letting go. I'll see you around, pal. He then ran off. Wait, Tails blinked. What just happened? Back to the regular story. That's what I'm asking, Tails exclaimed, his suspicious gaze sweeping the room. Excuse me. Correct. My bad. That's relating to the joke. Tails doesn't get it. You shouldn't. Let's continue. Excuse me. My bad. Still bold, I guess. Sonic opened the door he had closed behind him and said, I fired you. He disappeared again. Okay, just checking, Tails quietly muttered. Out of bold. Well, that was rude, Amy said, if not just to change the subject. Tails nodded. You can say that again. Yeah, change the subject from the things that I don't need to be talking about on my YouTube channel. I would not want to do that. Okay. So back to Bold. Sonic was now walking on the sandy beach, somber. Don't look at me like that. I did what I had to do. Oh, crud, I'm on 6%. Hang on. Let me just read this real quick. He was talking to a stack of flyers advertising the need for a new sidekick. And now we're going to make sure Tails stays retired. I'm guessing that's supposed to say he hung the paper on a nearby tree. Hey, we all make mistakes. I'm not perfect. I'm not saying I'm perfect. I just happen to notice it. So now I'm going to plug in my computer by grabbing this little cord over here. I got my cord. Okay. By the way, I'm not paying attention to the chat right now, if there even is one. So I can't see it right now. So now then. Well, this cord is not long enough. Okay. Let's see how this looks real quick though. Okay. Okay. Yeah, there we go. Okay. We're good. All good. Okay. Anyway. Back to this. Okay. Eggman scoffed at that. So you're basically replacing your fox friends so another person could get out instead of him? And you call me the bad guy. Sonic was too busy glaring at a... I don't even know how to pronounce this word. Okay, Google. I guess that's where you come in. I can't highlight the word. Oh yeah, because I didn't type it. Well then. Hang on. Let's let Google tell me how to pronounce this word.
Blasé.
Blasé. Okay. Which means unimpressed or indifferent to something because one has experienced or seen it so often before. Okay. Okay. Sonic was too busy glaring at a blasé shadow to respond properly. That's an interesting word. Blasé. Okay. Okay. Back to bold. Awkward. Sorry if I didn't say out of bold. I think I did. I don't know. Yeah. Or can't remember, I guess. Anyway, back to bold. An island was now shown with a white structure standing tall and proud in the middle of it. Sidekick tryouts. Eggman was sitting inside the shiny building. All qualified candidates welcome. Best candidate gets the job. Resume and references required. He set the paper down and pointed to it. Can you believe this? Orbot held up a finger. A resume and references aren't unreasonable, sir. Especially in this job market, Cubot chirped. Oh, Orbot and Cubot. Okay, out of bold. Orbot and Cubot. Eggman had scrapped those useless machines a long time ago. They had gotten on his nerves, and the doctor could only handle so much aggravation in one lifetime. Back to bold. Eggman slapped his fist down and threw the crumbled-up flyer at the writing box. What fool would want to be Sonic's sidekick, spending every day with him, enjoying his friendship and respect? Out of bold. Tails frowned up at that. I don't know if you're insulting me or just being weirdly jealous. I'm insulting you, Eggman yelled indignantly while Sonic chuckled at the same time. Totally jealous. Back to bold. Not me, that's for sure. The doctor stroked his chin. Unless there was a zoom in on his face before it panned down. Eggman fixed it, growling. Loudly, security camera. Fourth wall break? Inside fourth wall. My bad. Fourth wall break. The scene switched to the shack from earlier. There was a line forming in front of it, containing several people, including Amy and Knuckles. Out of bold. Amy wiggled happily in the seat at her appearance, loving the new outfit she had adorned. The outfit is cool, actually. I'll admit that. We're gonna skip that. I think I didn't skip it last time, and that caused some problems. Especially if I want to keep this channel family friendly, so skip that little bit. Blah, blah, blah. Alright, back to bold. Sonic was sitting at a desk with a clipboard and a pencil. Amy was standing in front of him, smiling. I'm Amy Rose, and I'll be auditioning for the job of psychic. Back to bold. Out of bold, excuse me. Tails' namesake quivered nervously. Sonic better not replace me with her. Pals before gals. I can understand that. Like, don't get me wrong. Guys can. If my best friend has his girl, give the girl the time. You know what I mean, man? If you don't have some time for your, if a guy doesn't have time for his girlfriend, then basically the relationship is just gonna get ruined. That's just how it is. But still, at the same time, I guess what's being implied here is, like, if you have, like, some of your friends, try to balance it out, I guess. Not try to hurt anyone, I guess, in the process is a better way. Anyway, blah, blah, blah. Back to this. Back to bold. Sonic side. Amy, I know who you are. The pink get perked up. Great, because I'm fine with Google again. Well, actually, that's not Kyuubi's fault, I guess. That's actually what she says. Probably look this up. The practice among those with power influence of favoring relatives or friends, especially by giving them jobs. Fine with nepotism. Okay. Yeah, so nepotism is basically favoritism for your friends. Oh, and under special skills, you can add juggling and singing. She began juggling 3 colorful balls. Oh, and the Saints go marching in. Okay. Out of bold. This is kind of funny. Amy couldn't process what she just saw. Her mouth was hanging open. What? Why did I? Sonic caught before. Sonic caught behind his fist to mask his laugh. Guess that's what we saw in the trailer. But why would I do that? It was so unattractive, she squealed. Tails leaned a bit away from her, and Shadow squeezed his stress reliever harder. And my voice, Sonic, I can sing way better than that. Our hero did a calm down motion with his hand. I'll take your word for it. Yeah, we don't want to hear that. Well, actually, I can't hear that. I can't hear that. I mean, I'm reading this. Well, it seems like... Then again, you guys probably don't want to hear me sing anyway, so... Yeah. Well, then again, I just did. Oh, well. Well, then again, oh, well. Hopefully you won't have to hear me sing again. Maybe. Unless you guys really want me to. The hero did... Okay, still. Well, it seems like Amy... Okay. Well, it seems like Amy becomes crazier later on, and I didn't think that was possible. Knuckles glanced over the Pinkhead and grunted. No offense. Amy had to keep herself from materializing another Pico and hammering the echidna with it. She wasn't crazy, just incessantly determined. Incessant? Oh, like insistent? Three times in one episode. You guys are going to start thinking that I'm an idiot. Okay, what's the definition? Incessantly, okay, without interruption, constantly. So basically, she's constantly determined. Okay, I can see the use of that. Might want to remember that. Okay, back to Bold. Sonic was not entertained. Next, a beaver with a red bow tie stood in front of the hero now. My greatest weakness? Actually, it is my incredible cowardice. Out of Bold. 2 down, Tails thought. Back to Bold. Amy was back on screen. What? Oh, wait, out of Bold. What? Did you cut people, Amy? The kid peered at her. I wouldn't be surprised if she did, given who she's trying to impress. Knuckles hastily ducked the hammer and rolled at him. Oh, yes. Back to Bold. Sonic was on his feet beside her as she gushed. Oh, improv? I love improv. Her accent drastically changed. I'm a crazy pizza man who juggles and sings. She juggled again, singing, crud. Well, I guess you guys are going to have to hear me sing. Oh, when the saints go marching in. And now we're done singing. Sonic exasperatedly turned her around and pushed her out. Exasperated. Is that like quickly? Like nonstop? Something like that? Hopefully. I'm not looking it up. I've heard it enough. I just don't know the exact definition. Okay. We're all good here, right? Okay. Good. Thank you. Actually, I can't. I haven't read your responses, so I don't know. But hopefully we're good. Okay. Sonic turned around, pushed her out of Bold. Amy's embarrassed blush reached her ears, but her glare kept the others from saying anything else. Back to Bold. Knuckles was leaning against the desk with a clipboard and pencil in his hands. I think that you would be a great sidekick for me. No, Knuckles, Sonic deadpan. I'm looking for someone to be my sidekick. Would have to change your name, though. The echidna continues as if the hedgehog hadn't spoken. I'm thinking Knuckles Jr. Sonic grabbed a clipboard and pencil, crossing something out on the paper. Out of Bold. Knuckles Jr.? Knuckles repeated it like it was foreign language. The Guardian crossed his arms and frowned. All right, Sonic. Never mind. Let's skip that before we get on to something else that doesn't need to be talked about. Back to Bold. A hooded figure stepped up to the desk. Out of Bold, like it wasn't obvious who was under there. Back to Bold.
And Sonic regarded the mystery person. Okay, last question. What would you do in a no-win situation? In a fake deep voice, the figure responded, "If I'm with you, there's no such thing as a no-win situation." Out of bold, Sonic smirked over at Tails. "I taught you well." Tails chuckled, content now that it seemed that future Sonic would choose him. "I learned from the best." Back to bold. "Huh," Sonic looked impressed. "You really get it, new guy." The person nodded. "I do get it. But I'm not a new guy. In reality, I am none other than—" They attempted to pull the hood off, but it somehow got stuck, them falling down in the process. Sonic stood up and frowned at who was eventually revealed. "Tails, you cannot be my sidekick." Out of bold. And Tails' prediction was wrong. Back to bold. The fox held up the flyer from before. "All qualified candidates welcome. Best candidate gets the job." Tails gestured to himself. "I'm a lock. Unless there's something you're not telling me." By the way, thank you for writing that, because I was always confused what he was saying there. Like like it sounded like it started with L, but I never exactly knew. Like I think the closest thing I was thinking was like I'm a luck, but I don't know. Fine, Sonic put a hand on his hips. "But get ready for the tryout of your life." Outerbowl. Sonic explosively sighed. "Am I always this stubborn?" "Yes," Shadow answered. "Absolutely," Eggman added. The speedster rolled his eyes. He knew better than to ask that question with those two in the room. "Yeah, like you two have any room to complain about my stubbornness." Shadow tisk. Which is this? No, not that. Yeah, there we go. "You asked." Okay, back to bold. "Hello." A new yet familiar voice greeted. Sonic and Tails whirled around. "Eggman!" the latter shouted in surprise. "What are you doing here?" The hedgehog got into a fighting stance. Out of bold. "What am I doing there?" The human was lost as he gazed into the screen. Then all the pieces came together. He ran his hands down his face, frustrated beyond belief. Out of all of the possible schemes, back to bold. "My name is Dr. Eggman, and I'm here about the sidekick position." He held up a resume. Out of bold. Sonic barked out aloud. "You can't be serious, Eggy." "I wish I wasn't," Eggman groaned. He didn't think it was possible to decide his future self this much. "Whatever you're trying to do won't work, though," Amy shook her head, "because Sonic will never work with you." Obviously, you know this is out of bold if I hadn't said it already. If I just did, and you guys just heard that, you're like, "Really, dude? It was like 5 seconds ago." Sorry, memory's not exactly the best. "And you think that I want to work with him?" The doctor scrunched his nose in distaste. "I wouldn't willingly spend more time with the rat than I have to. So basically, if you didn't have to, you wouldn't be there right now. Gotcha." "The show says otherwise," Sonic jeered, and Eggman counted down from 30 in his mind to keep his anger in check. But I agree with what Aim said. It'll never work. Back to bold. Sonic was more than a little confused. "What? You're my arch nemesis." "See?" Well, out of bold, "see?" And then back to bold. "That's true," Eggman concurred. "I could be a valuable asset to your organization. For example, I'm a doctor. Not a real doctor, a PhD, but still. Doesn't that technically make you a doctor? Isn't like a PhD a doctoral degree? Or like a... Wait, that's like a you know what I'm trying to say. Physiastrics degree. There we go. But still, Sonic wasn't budging. "You can't be my sidekick." The human thrusted the flyer into his face. "All qualified candidates welcome." "Okay, fine." Sonic glanced between the man and Fox. "You both can move on to round 2, but neither one of you is going to be my sidekick." Out of bold. Sonic's lip curved downward as he tapped his foot. Why am I even giving him a chance? I would have just kicked him out and called it a day. Granted, you never tried to replace me in the first place, Tails uttered. Like, have we all gone crazy or something? The fox shook his head. I'm the only one who hasn't changed. Well, Sapphire orbs drifted over to a dispassionate striped Hedgie. That we know so far. Well, actually, I think Tails changes a little bit as the show goes on. I mean, he's still the nerd, I guess, which is actually why he's my favorite, because in real life, I'm a nerd. Oh, crud, I just spoiled that top 10 for you, didn't I? No, well, that top 10 will happen in the future, by the way. I'll do it one day. I was marginally glad that he hadn't shown up yet. If his future self turned out to be outrageous, he was going to do something he would regret, especially if he found out that the cause was someone in this room. Wait. There's no way of knowing now, Amy fingered a loose dart on her pajamas. I say that the show will clue us in. You know, eventually. Yup, in the 52nd episode of the season finale. Oh, Shadow. You have a long way to go, and you're gonna hate it. Especially considering the next episode. Because I watched it just to get up to speed because I haven't seen the episodes in a while. But anyway, yeah. Don't watch any more of this, Eggman complained. Future or not, this was borderline torture. The man then blinked when a smiley-faced stress ball appeared in his lap as well. It was impressive. All of his hate for his arch-rival had transferred to the thing in a few short seconds. Why? We get to change it if we know what's coming. Sonic grabbed the toy and tossed it up and down. Come on, Sonic. I understand you're messing around with your rival, but like, well, nemesis, whatever. But come on, stealing, like, toying with him by grabbing the stress ball, man. Come on, people need stress balls. Stress balls. Anyway, Eggman didn't respond to him. The last thing he ever wanted to do was agree with the rodent. All right, back to Bolt. And by the way, sorry if that a second ago was a little out of left field. Didn't mean for it to be. My bad. Back to Bolt. Who else is there? Tails inquired. The beaver's head popped up in the doorway, holding up a card. Actually, do you validate parking? Congratulations, Sonic pointed at him. You're the third candidate. The beaver didn't look too ecstatic. Actually, the scene changed to a jungle setting, and the small group was standing on the edge of a cliff. All right, being my sidekick is no easy task, Sonic began to explain. This competition will test your strength, stamina, and endurance. The screen panned to show Tails, Eggman, and the beaver on hoverboards. Outerbolt. Whoa, is that extreme gear? At least Sonic hadn't forgotten how to make things fun in the future. Maybe, Knuckles squinted, noting some differences. They're more crude models of anything. Back to Bolt. The winner will be whoever makes it. Actually, the beaver interjected, gazing at him. It's whomever. Oh boy. Alright, out of Bolt. Okay, Tails, breathe out. Who else is tired of him? Everyone raised their hand. Wow, the fact that Tails is the one who has to say something. I figured of all people, Tails would be the one who, it was somewhat okay with the whole grammar Nazi thing. I mean, granted, problem being the grammar Nazi with this kind of stuff when I see those kind of things. I learn. My bad. Hopefully I'm not offending Kyubi by being like that. I'm not too much of a grammar Nazi. I'm probably saying a bunch of things right now that aren't grammatically correct. Ahem. Anyway, back to the story, and sorry, back to the story. And back to Bold. Sonic shook the interruption off before gesturing. Uh, wait, what? Oh, okay. Sorry, I lost my place. Before gesturing at another cliff in the distance with a red flag on top. The winner will be whomever makes it through all the unimaginable hardships and brings me the red flag and planet on top, the incredibly dangerous but inaccurately named Mount Safety. Actually, out of Bold, even Shadow couldn't have held in his amused snort when the on-screen Eggman pushed the beaver off the cliff. Okay, first off, I don't think you should laugh at someone getting hurt like that, even if it is someone who is annoying and a non-fictional character. Well, actually, maybe if it is a fictional character, you can laugh, but still. All right, back to Bolt. He screamed on the way down, flailing his arms. Tails and Eggman followed a moment later. Oh, wait. Did I say back to Bold? I think I did. Anyway, he screamed on the way down, flailing his arms. Tails and Eggman followed a moment later, beginning their race through the jungle. Sonic ran off to watch from a distance. Racing on trunks and vines, the decorations on the sides of the doctor's board detached, blades popping out of them and spinning. They headed right for Tails. Oh, man. Back to Bold. Out of Bold, excuse me. There's the doctor we know, Knuckles observed as the kit crashed into the beaver, the buck-toothed racer falling into the jungle below, always throwing in something out of left field. Yeah, Sonic patted the man on his shoulder. I was scared for a second there, that you actually wanted my friendship and respect. Dream on, Rodin. Dream? More like a nightmare. That's... Okay. Let's keep going. Back to Bold. Actually, the beaver called out beneath tree leaves. I'm okay. The two-bladed spheres of death continued their chase until Tails put on his brakes, causing them to slam into each other. To get off his trail. Sorry, I noticed these things. About, hey, we're not all perfect. Even professional writers have made these things. I remember reading a Rick Riordan book, and yes, that's how you pronounce his name. And I saw that same mistake in there. I mean, I understood what needed to be there, but still, even professionals make mistakes, so I can't talk. I can't. Well, I mean, I can notice it and say something, but I'm not gonna say, "Oh, that makes me better" or anything. Nah. Even with these mistakes, Kayubi's probably a way better writer than I am. Although, I guess I never know until I write one. Tails then slid to a stop in a small clearing where Sonic and his plane were waiting. Continuing. The hedgehog folded his arms. What's going on here? Nothing I can't handle, Tails replied cockily. Back out of Bold. Ding ding, right answer. Sonic gave Tails a thumbs up, even though he didn't understand why future him was clueless. Was he blind and deaf? Back to Bold. Tails jumped into his plane and took off. Eggman was right on his tail in his circular hovercraft. Sonic watched them go with a subtle frown before giving chase. The beaver was left by himself. Actually, I'm just going to lie down in the fetal position and weep. He did just that while sucking his thumb. That's still kind of weird that they would throw that in, to be honest. Not for Kayui. She's just putting in what's actually in the show. Out of Bold. Knuckles glared at the TV. Why does he get Why does he keep getting showed off? Isn't this supposed to be about us? What's the deal with him? Amy shared his sentiments. He was getting more screen time than her. He probably becomes more important in later episodes. The echidna just huffed. That was probably it. Back to Bold. Tails shouted, "Give up, Eggman. This job is rightfully mine." "I'm not here to be Sonic's sidekick, you nincompoop," Eggman argued. "I'm here to get rid of you both, once and for all." Out of Bold. And you couldn't do that some other way? The The doctor really wanted to reach through the screen and slap himself one good time. Back to bold, even I think I said out of bold a second ago. Oh, man, you guys are really seeing my intelligence. Maybe it's because I'm tired. Nah, can't make that excuse. I'm probably going to be up for a while. The human activated the magnet he had used before, picking up Burnbot from the jungle floor. Sonic, who hadn't expected this, increased his speed, hoping to catch up. Now airborne, Burnbot extended his sharp claws, wanting to hit Tails' aircraft. The kid skillfully dodged a few times, but one hit sent him spiraling. Sorry, Kyubi, I know you wrote that in there about luck and everything, but once again, don't believe it. Well, then again, I guess I can say it if you write it. That doesn't necessarily mean I believe in it. All right, my bad. That's I'm gonna stop being like that. My bad. Not trying to be offensive. Sorry. I love your writings. Please don't hurt me. Please don't hate me. Like literally, please don't hate me. You're Sonic sped up even more at the sight of his brother in danger again. However, the hero almost lost control when he slid on ice covering a frozen lake. Audible. Ice? Oh man. Sonic knew that if there was ice, there was water. He had a real bad feeling that he was going to take a dip sometime soon. He seriously should learn how to swim. Eggman was stroking his stash, humming to himself. Maybe this plan wasn't so bad. He was using the rat's worst fear against him. True, the way his future self got to this point was rather unorthodox, which is basically unclear, not straightforward, but he didn't have to physically harm the human on the television anymore. Shadow knew that this was tense or whatever, but he couldn't keep quiet about this. Weren't you all in a jungle? Why in the world is there a frozen lake right at the edge of it? Tails was thrown out of the moment by the Striped One's question. It was a bit weird. My mind's blank, and he's got an IQ of 300, so yeah, no going on that. Also, I'm just going to point this out because I love this YouTube series. Maybe love is a strong word, but I do like it. Shadow would be great at CinemaSins. Go subscribe. They're kind of funny. Amy frowned up. Can't we figure that out after they get out of trouble? Shadow's gaze sharpened. Remember who you're talking to, Rose. Remember who you're talking to, Shadow. At the appearance of a specific hammer, the ultimate life form went back to his stress relief. Even Shadow is scared of the Pico Pico hammer. Back to Bold. Tails' plane was stuck halfway in the broken ice. Tails, Sonic called as he clumsily closed the distance between him and the fox. The kid wiggled in his seat, turning the controls. Sonic, I'm stuck! I shouted more and the plane sunk deeper. From above, Burnbot morphed its claws into saw blades and launched one at the precarious surface. The aircraft was going to go under any second now. Movements quick, Sonic launched himself at the plane and grasped the kid's arms, pulling with all his might. He freed Tails just as the ice gave way. Sonic jumped away from any cracking ice, him and his brother bouncing a bit upon landing. Out of Bold. Tails was relieved that they escaped, but he steeled himself for what's to come. This had to be the argument scene between him and Sonic. Back to Bold. The Azure hero stood up, looking ashamed. Tails, he sighed, I didn't really want to fire you. I was just trying to protect you. You should know, other me, that I'm a danger magnet, and I'm sure I've rubbed up on Tails so much that he's charging up too. Tails gaped at Sonic. That has to be the most scientific thing I've ever heard you say. Thank you. I try. That sounds like something Sonic would do, actually. I'm going to admit that Sonic probably would do something like that. The kid cocked his head at his brother. Sonic didn't seem too bothered by this. Then he shouldn't be either. They were too close for something as small as this to rock their friendship. Back to Bolt. How? By putting me in more danger? The plan had holes. Out of Bolt again. Yeah, a lot, actually. Knuckles gave Sonic a pointed look. More than usual. The hero waved him off. I'll make sure this doesn't happen. No worries. Back to bold. Tails then smiled, not too angry after all, and Sonic helped him up. Oh, Sonic! Eggman was suddenly there, too close. I have one last surprise for you. I took your advice. Burnbot can burn things. Out of bold, and this is actually another good point from Shadow. See, Faker, Shadow rose an eye ridge. This is a sign that you talk too much. Shut up from time to time. Sonic rolled his eyes, spinning the small yet hefty ball on his finger. I'll be quiet the day you crack a smile. Deal? Shadow just glared, and the blue speedster fired a pretend gun at him. Checkmate. Shadow has smiled before, hasn't he? Has he ever smiled in any of the games? Like, ever? Like, not like an evil smile, like, but just a normal smile? Like this? He's never done that. Now that I think about it, he probably hasn't. Anyway, back to Bold. Burnbot launched 2 fireballs from his body, creating a ring of fire around the duo that melted the ice. Tails flew because of his namesakes, but Sonic slid into the water and thrashed. I can't swim, the hedgehog shouted in distress. Tails lowered himself down and grabbed the hedgehog's hand and tugged. It wasn't enough. You're waterlogged. I can't lift you. Don't worry about me. Sonic released his hold on the kit, but Tails held on tighter. Get out of here. Out of both. Amy's brow furrowed in worry. Not just because of the current situation, but also because of future danger too. Well, the future's future danger. Yeah, I get it. This was their first legit episode, and all this was happening. Would she also? The pink cat blinked when a sudden thought came to her. Where are Knuckles and me during this? We should be helping out. Again, Amy would. Well, actually, not again, but still, CinemaSins reference. Amy would be great at CinemaSins. Your guess is as good as mine, Knuckles replied, wondering that too. Okay, back to Bold. Man, this is... Why do these episodes take so long to make? Good thing I'm live streaming. Tails shook his head. That's not how sidekicks do. He pulled Sonic again, but he was dragged underwater with the hedgie. They were submerged for a moment, Sonic struggling all the while, until Tails twirled his namesakes and used them as propellers. Tails flew them out of the water and into the air. He let go of Sonic, and the Azure hero spun in Burnbot's direction, slamming into it. Ice cracked under the robot's feet, and it instantly sunk. Sonic was caught by the yellow anther after he bounced away. The flying pair smiled at each other as they headed back into the jungle. Out of bold. Sonic stretched out a bit, Victoria's grin splitting his face in half. Well, at least that didn't change. He focused on the doctor, who suddenly wished for his smiley ball back. Along with his win, Sonic had taken that from him, too. I can still beat you anytime, anywhere, Eggman. We, Tails corrected. That's what I said. No, it's not. I can literally... You may not be able to do this, but I can see that. I can still beat you. Alright, back to Bolt. I'll be back. Eggman shook a fist at their retreating backs. With a new robot, who has an accurate name. He began to fly off. And super laser eyes. And he'll feed me ham. Evil ham. Out of Bolt, Eggman inwardly groaned as Sonic laughed like he hadn't seen this already. The human had forgotten all about the ham bit. Just keep digging the hole deeper, why don't you? Back to Bold. There was a time skip. Sonic and Tails were sitting on a beach, gazing into the sunset. About this job, Tails asked tentatively. What are the hours like? Sonic pretended to think. Well, it's 7 days a week, but you get your own blade. Tails smiled. Before we go out of Bold, because it's out of Bold, the whole 7 days a week thing, I understand, like, being a crime fighter and all that requires that. Never mind. I'll stay off of that for a minute. I'll stay off of that. Out of Bold. Aw, Amy cooed before giving her neighbor a hug. That's adorable. Tails weakly wiggled around and rolled, embarrassed. Stop. Back to Bold. The scene switched to the shack from earlier, and Amy was insistently ringing a bell on the porch. Let me in, she exclaimed. I demand a call back. Out of bold, Amy released tails at the sight of her crazy self on screen. Her ears drooped. Oh no. Knuckles dragged his feet behind her. Back to bold. Knuckles dragged his feet behind her, looking depressed. Amy saw him and asked, Knuckles, what's wrong? Out of bold. I don't even want to know, the echidna sighed out. Back to bold. Knuckles heavily exhaled. Knuckles Jr. isn't working out. Didn't it say this Knuckles Jr. thing isn't working out? I mean, I understand if she made it a little bit shorter. I mean, it's basically the same thing, and she's trying to work with her own story while also making us understand all this. So, yeah. But still, I can remember that. I mean, I'm not gonna like criticize her for it, but still. Alright, still in bold. Oh, Amy's expression lit up. So you're saying you need a out of bold? Don't do it. Back to bold. Amy ran after the echidna, her accent changing. I'm a crazy a pizza man who juggles and sings. Oh, when the saints go marching in. And you heard me sing again. You're welcome. Back out of bold. The pink cat covered her face in shame. She did it. And before I go on, is that supposed to be a Mario reference that Sega threw in? Like the crazy pizza man, but just having to make the voice Italian? I'm a crazy a pizza man. That's obviously, well, I don't know if that's exactly what it sounds like, and I'm not going to play that here on YouTube because that means I have to go to YouTube, which means then I have to go to the thing and look. That means I have to go on the search bar and look it up and all that, and I don't feel like doing that, and I don't want to get copyright, and let's keep going. Okay, but back to bold and back to the story. Knuckalina. Knuckalina or Knuckalina? I don't know. Knuckalina probably. Out of bold. Knuckles jumped to his feet as the TV faded to black, waving his arms out of bold. I said that, didn't I? My bad. Knuckles jumped to his feet as the TV faded to black, waving his arms in the air. That wasn't even necessary. What in the heck is wrong with me? He looked over at Amy. With us. Calm down, Nux, Sonic snickered as he pulled the irate echidna back down, ignoring the heat his stare received. Why so mad? I think it's funny. The glare increased in intensity. And well, I guess just stay tuned and you see kind of deal, yeah? I hope so, Amy pipped up, because juggling, I couldn't have picked up any other hobby. I mean, isn't juggling really hard? You have a talent, Tails tried to cheer the girl up. He didn't know if it worked, for she just puffed and grumbled to herself. Well, at least he made an attempt. And then it goes back to the old joke from earlier. So I'm not even going to do that. But I am going to give you guys this. I'm not going to discuss the topic. That doesn't need to be said here. And let's go into this. A ghost of a smirk grew on Shadow's muzzle. He jumped through any window of opportunity to dance on Sonic's nerve. This was very apt payback. And Shadow says something, but even if I say what he says, that's too much of a hint towards that, so let's not mention that at all. And you know what happens? A smiley face stress ball was hurled right at his eye. Thank you, Sonic, because we don't need Shadow talking like that. And why on earth would you talk like that around an 8-year-old? Like, seriously, I'm not even mad at Sonic for doing that. I mean, granted, there could have probably been another way, but still, yeah, just Shadow, no. Bad. Don't talk like that around 8-year-old kids. If I had an 8-year-old brother, well, technically I have an 8-year-old, like, younger nephew, I guess. He won't be in any of the videos. But, yeah, still, I can understand. Probably wouldn't want to talk about that around them. Okay, but that chapter's over. But before we go into that, I want to read this little note at the end. There it is, guys, the first episode. How'd you like it? Reviews and constructive criticism are welcome. Um, I know this isn't entirely aimed at me with the whole reviews because obviously that's what you do on fanfiction.net, you review. And also but the constructive criticism thing, I think, well, no, I can't even say that either because constructive criticism, I mean, I'm not gonna, I guess, I guess that's what my criticism technically is when I do these things. It's constructive. I want Kyuubi to get better at writing. I mean, she's already great, and if I notice any mistakes, I'll point them out. I'm not gonna like say, "Oh, you're the worst writer ever," because no, no, she could write a story so well that if she wrote actual stories, like as an actual like set of like a series, I would probably go to the store the first day they came out and buy them and then read them because honestly, Kyuubi is just that great of a writer. Oh, and also, this is another thing. I know this technically doesn't have to do anything with the story, but I'm going to point this out anyway. Kyuubi addresses one of her well, maybe fan isn't the right word, but reviewers. Yeah, I guess that's a better word for it. Who commented, and she's commenting back to the story. So that's actually nice. And I actually read reviews of these things. So actually, yeah, why don't we share some of those? That'd be a nice little bonus. I mean, those guys deserve stuff too. That's Speed Hunter. But that's the comment. Yeah, Metal would kind of be the odd one on here. Oh, because Metal has an episode. I'll have him as a guest during his episode, though. That's for sure. Okay, cool. So foreshadowing, we're going to see Metal in the future. Yay, Metal! Yay, Metal! Okay, okay, guys. I'm gonna look at the reviews real quick. I'm gonna like try and get under. No. Okay, so chapter. Crap. Wait a minute. Oh, that is chapter 2. Okay. Okay, so I saw my review. Okay, so, well, okay. So these are the chapter 2 ones. I'm not going to do the chapter 3 one yet. Okay, this is from a guest. I know I've already reviewed, but I loved it and I'm rereading your story. It's absolutely great. Can't wait until the other chapters episodes are out. Icy Pink Flower. P.S. Not lots of people do this, mainly because of how hard it is to write the characters. You got them written great, by the way. Yeah, she actually really does. She's pretty much nailing the personalities, which is something really good. I mean, yes, sometimes manipulate. Well, that's kind of the wrong word, but make you can mess with the personalities a little bit to make them understandable, but to make them understandable to your story, but don't mess them so much that you don't recognize the character anymore. You know why? Okay, Burning Underground says, this is brilliant. I can't wait to see more. Then there's my comment, which I'm not, I'm not going to read. Oh, by the way, since I just noticed my logo, Burning Underground's logo is also kind of cool. Maybe I'll point out a few more of these logos. Well, I just saw a cool one, but I can't read that one because it's chapter 3. Oh, this guy has a cool one too for chapter 2. Guest says, oh, please continue the story. It's really funny and just wow. If I had an account, I would fave and follow. Keep up the good work. Icy Pink Flower. I'm guessing they're a guest that wants to go by the name Icy Pink Flower. And that's kind of funny. Okay, there's someone named Too Lazy to Log In who said, I'm really enjoying this so far. Can't wait to see all their reactions. But anyway, KG Fan 626 says, interesting concept. Doing a good job executing the characters and the reactions seem realistic. Can't wait for their reactions at the obvious Son Amy hinting in the Boom show. Aw, yes. Yes. I actually can't wait for the fourth wall breaks now I'm thinking about it because they're going to be like, wait, is our. I wonder if they're going to be like, wait, did they just break the fourth wall and we're seeing this? So I guess maybe they'll think they decided to go on some reality TV show or something? Maybe. Okay. But he really does have a cool avatar thing. It's like this green looking portal behind. Well, a green looking portal is behind this sort of panda looking thing that's wearing an orange bandana. Cool. Uh, I don't even know how to. Oh, I'm guessing that's a Pokemon name and then Lover. Okay. I guess that explains the logo. Haha, so great. I can't wait for the episodes with Calbot and Shadow. I forgot about Calbot. 123 Robot says, nice idea. I love these kind of stories when they're done well. And if there's anyone I'd say had the skill to pull it off, you'd certainly be high on the list. Heck yeah, bro. Caillou, I agree with you. 123 Robot. Kyubi is the one to make this story work. She'd probably make any story work. Well, except for some, but that's because of me not having an interest in those kind. And we're not going to go into detail with those because, again, we have to keep this this video family friendly. So let's not go there. These sorts of things require a very strong grasp on the characters involved to be done convincingly and entertainingly. In other words, play a lot of the games and get to know their characters. There wasn't much to judge on in this chapter. Well, he didn't say that, but I thought I'd interject and say that. There wasn't much to judge on in this chapter, but I like how you provided a lot of context rather than just jumping straight in. Yes, I said that in the first chapter, and I agree wholeheartedly with what he just said. But it's looking fantastic so far, and there were plenty of amusing moments. I know reality, that's another fanfic that I really want to read. And he talks about how it's for good reason that it's a big focus. But I'm really looking forward to see how you tackle future episodes. Should make for a fun read. Can't wait to see more. I agree with that. 123 Robot. 123 Robot and I are similarly here. By the way, that's not my name on fanfiction.net. If you guys want to follow me on fanfiction, I didn't really want to do this. The name is Miles the Doctor. I know, that's actually, I guess, kind of a reference to the old name. If you look at my first video, that's actually what I called myself. I do not want to be called by that again. I should probably change that name soon. Anyway. And Enminess? I'm guessing that's supposed to be anonymous. Or maybe it's not. Yeah. I think it's purpose. Enminess. And minus? Well, then again, it can be a play on words. Yeah, it's a bit of a risky concept, but you've executed it well so far. So as long as your own comments, by magical notes and such, are kept to a minimum, this should just be a ton of fun character interaction. Yeah, I understand. Like, keep what you're doing to a minute, because of the whole thing with the whole notes and everything from chapter 1. And this one kind of caught me off guard because there's a person here called Knight of the Wind. Oh, actually, Anonymous has a cool, and minus, my bad, has a cool avatar too. I think it's a dog of some sort. Or is that a snake? I can't really tell. Okay, maybe a dog and a snake, perhaps. But there's a guy here called Knight of the Wind, and it just makes me think of that YouTuber who shares that name. And it says, clever. I've seen a few of these before, just not as well written all. Well done. The characters seem relatively accurate to the modern Sonic description, so you got a good grasp of their overall character. So long as it keeps kind of into it and they figure out after a while it's a TV show / alternate timeline, yeah, that's kind of the thing, which would be great as a hilarious aha moment. I wonder who will figure that out. Maybe Tails. He's the smart one. He didn't say that. I didn't. Or he or she. Excuse me. Let's not be like that. Excuse me. It will be interesting to see how they react, so to speak. I wonder how Sonic will take the more shippy moments. In other words, Son Amy. Anyway, again, well done. Although it's a risky game to play. Also, the Son Amy thing was for me. I missed you. But you guys get that because I'm changing the direction I look. Anyway. Although it's a risky game to play, it's not the first time the mysterious other powers have been used successfully. I hope to see much, much more. And if it's not the first, well, that's all he said. But I'm just gonna say, if it's not the first person who's done it successfully, then I have a feel more than enough of a feeling that Kyuubi is going to do this so effectively. This will probably be one of the best. Oh crud! Star Fiction. That's the person with the cool looking logo up front. Oh, is that a hand drawing? That's actually kind of cool. Oh, well, I'm not gonna read any of that. I kind of want to go back to the story. Let's go back to the story. My arms are blue. Technically, I could start reading chapter 3, but it's 11:21 at night where I am, and I really don't. Well, actually, okay, guys, let me see something. I'm gonna go to the actual live stream itself, pause it, see if there's anyone who's, well, someone liked it, so that's fine. Thank you. A like is very helpful, and thank you so much for that. Sonic the Hedgehog says hello, and Skittle Sonic, aka Marquise Bell Wilson, says hi. Well, hello to both of you, and thank you, Sonic the Hedgehog, for showing up. Oh, they're both watching. Wow. Thank you guys so much for watching. Oh, well, one viewer now, but still. Okay, well, thank you for that. Well, if you guys want me to read the third chapter, just respond. I guess I'll wait here for 5 minutes or something. Yep. I'm cool with that. I'll just sit here for the next 5 minutes. And if I get an indication that I should read the third chapter, then I will. Other than that, though, guys, I guess that's pretty much it. I mean, yeah, so, yeah, thanks for watching. I mean, I'm going to take a look at this, see if there is really anything. Hey, it's B. Donovan. Donovan? You're here too, man? Dude, wait, hang on, Donovan. I'm going to do something. I don't know if you've ever done this. Just bear with me here. Hang on. Donovan, should I if you're still watching, should I read the third chapter? Okay. Oh, crud. Oh, crud. Oh, crud. This isn't good. Donovan, I have a problem, man. There's 2 people with it. Oh, no, it got even worse. There's a lot of people named B. Donovan. Oh, no, this is not good. Donovan, if you had a picture, this would be easier, but you don't, so I can't invite you. I'm sorry. I wanted to have you on the stream and everything. That would have been awesome, but now I can't do that. Unless you are willing to email me your email so that I can have the specific one here. Anyway, other than that, guys, yeah, I guess sure if you. He said, "Sure if you got time." Yeah. Okay. Well, I think we have enough time, but okay, fine. All right, Donovan. What's up? Okay, Donovan. Yeah, I see you in the comments. Thank you for commenting. Let me type something. Donovan, can you email me so that I why am I doing this when I could have just said it? I don't know. Okay, well, I guess it doesn't matter. Oh, um, I should probably respond. Hi, Sonic. Hi, Skittle Sonic. If Sonic the Hedgehog gets mad that I didn't spell out his name, I'm sorry. So thank you guys for showing up. I guess we can do this. Let's do it. Let's do it. I have a like on this video. That's making me feel in a really good mood. So let's do it. Let's do it, guys. I'm going to put this up in the corner. I asked him to email me. So yeah. Okay. So I guess we'll move on to the third chapter. Okay, and let's get into it, I guess. Okay, that's kind of a short intro, but I guess that works. Disclaimer. Disclaimer, I don't own anything. Episode 2 is here. Enjoy. Okay, Kyubi Vixen, I will. But before I do that, yeah, alright. I guess we're reading chapter 3, guys. Or some of it. I don't think I'll read the entire thing. Yeah, if you would have told me earlier that you would pull an all-nighter, I would have chosen another way to shut you up that wouldn't have caused me extreme pain and agony. Now that Sonic was splayed out in the middle of his living room floor, his body sore and painted with purple splotches, he was beginning to think that he was beginning to think his little brother's innocence wasn't worth a tired and cranky, more like rabid shadow attacking him. Yes, it is, Sonic. Let's not get back into those bad jokes, okay? We're not talking about those kind of bad things. Okay? No. Stop it. The experience wasn't pleasant. He swore that the Striped One was going to bite him if Knuckles hadn't pulled them apart. Sonic made a mental note to wait until Shadow got in his bearded sleep to give him a black eye. Maybe then he wouldn't be fighting for his dear life. The Azure Hedgehog groaned as he adjusted the ice pack on his face, it covering a bruise on his cheek. Ever think of going to anger management classes, Shaz? That's kind of funny. And this is my first review of this, so I've never seen any of this before. Shut it, Faker. Shadow sharply hissed, mimicking an agitated cat ready to claw someone's eyes out. He was stretched out on the couch, and his only takeaways from the tussle were his russet quills and his left eye that was nearly swollen shut. The black anthro was rapidly crushing the stress ball he would reclaim with one hand and pressing a bag of frozen peas to his face with the other. The 5 emerald insights would be fried. Shadow pictured blasting his rival with a chaos spear, and he didn't feel so bad anymore. Shadow, why you gotta be such a jerk? Dude, I understand you're like cranky because you lost your sleep and whatever, but golly, stop, man. Shadow pictured blasting his rival with... Okay, yeah, we read that. Aw, you don't mean that, Chad, Sonic chirped. You love me too much. Last chapter he said he hated you, Sonic, so yeah. Tails was sitting by the blue hero, warily staring at Sonic, surprised that the ball had disintegrated under Shadow's increased abuse. The Kit and Amy gladly had let Shadow have the whole couch out of the goodness of their hearts, not because they had been afraid that he'd come for them next. Are you trying to say, um, are you trying to say they're trying to make excuses, Kyubi? Okay. The pink cat settled herself safe between Knuckles and Eggman, foregoing being beside her crush on the floor. Apparently, being comfortable and wanting to stay as far away from Shadow as possible exceeded her love for the hero. Wow. Huh. I guess learn something new every day. I guess that makes sense. That makes sense. I mean, if you are in between a person you have a crush on and something that could possibly kill you, you're probably going to avoid the thing that's going to kill you. Just saying. I can kind of agree with this here. I want to check my battery life real quick just to see if I can probably do this. Okay. I got 20%. Oh, my legs are killing me. Ow. Okay. Sorry, guys. Okay. Now that Sonic was splayed out in the middle of his... Okay, blah, 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 blah. We've done that. We've done that. Blah, blah. Okay, love me too much. Blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, so, yeah, Tails is sitting by Sonic on the floor. Okay, I remember that now that I've read it again. The Kit and Amy, okay. The pink cat settled, okay, exceeded her love for the hero, for now at least. The amount of time she could endure Eggman was on something I don't want to mention, so sadly I have to change it a little bit. My bad. Probably should have just omit that sentence. My bad. Keep quiet, you pincushion. Eggman had retrieved the stress reliever that had begun the fight, partially because he needed it for himself and partially to prevent any other scuffles. He had been this close to being mistakenly punched in the face. I want to be the one to destroy you once and for all, not him. Sonic chuckled, resting one hand behind his head with effort. You both can come at me at the same time, and who's going to end up on top? Me. I wouldn't risk that, Sonic. Despite how much you possibly could survive that, that's kind of tempting it a little bit. Amy threw him a flabbergasted look. She loved him and all, but did he not notice the condition he was in? Taking a risk, the pink cat focused on the striped hedgehog. How hard did you hit him on his head? Not hard enough, Shadow grunted, getting comfortable on the sofa. I don't know whether to laugh or be mad at that. Actually, there's probably no reason to be mad, but still, Shadow the grunge hog. Yeah, let's go with that. Tails glanced between the two rivals with a frown marring his muzzle. I don't understand why they started fighting in the first place. All I asked was, yeah, we're gonna stop that because, yeah, Tails is being naive, and that's the whole reason behind the whole fight. Because naive and dirty talk, and don't talk like that in front of an 8-year-old. Because now they're going to want to know, and you don't need that stuff, so stop it. And thank you, Knuckles, for saying this. Because Knuckles says this. Well, after a while. Tails didn't feel like dancing with fighting hedgehogs again. Or didn't feel like dealing with fighting hedgehogs again, excuse me. The quills were too sharp. Ha ha. His precious mitts were nearly ruined. Tails, said Fox, perked up at his name. Yeah? Do you want me to punch you? No?
Then drop it and focus on the stupid screen. Knuckles wanted to get out of here before he had to pry the Master Emerald away from a clingy Rouge. The Guardian glanced up at the TV, reading the episode title. Can an evil genius crash on your couch for a few days? What kind of... No! Sonic had the idea to sit up, but his body blatantly refused. The plot of this one was obvious. No, he can't. No, he can't. I'm the nicest guy in the world, Shadow scoffed. But I wouldn't let Eggy crash here. He'd stink up the place. And I shouldn't want to, I guess. Constructive criticism, Kyubi. You know I'm not trying to bring you down in any way, shape, or form. And I wouldn't want to be around a blue-haired cretin. Eggman's voice then dropped to a growl. And what is it with you rodents thinking that I stink? Because you always smell like sweat, desperation, and disappointment, the Azure Hedgie listed off with a grin, inwardly wincing as he readjusted his ice bag. Eggman followed Shadow's example and pretended his smiley stress ball was Sonic's head. Whoa, okay. Amy, believing that the silence was a sign to play the show, did so with a single button press. Oh, so she's got the remote now. Okay, I got that. The scene began inside a... Oh, wait. To bold again. The scene began inside a darkened cabin, panning until Sonic and Tails were shown, sleeping on separate couches. Sonic was lightly snoring until light knocking was heard. He stirred but didn't actually awaken until the knocks increased in intensity. Out of bold. And so it begins, the lame hero muttered, hoping that his future self would send Eggman packing. Though considering that he had tried to replace Tails as his sidekick, the odds weren't in his favor. Of course. Back to bold. Man, Sonic growled as he sat up, Tails still sound asleep. He zipped over to the front door and opened it, revealing Eggman in a damp trench coat. It was raining. Out of bold again. Eggman groaned in sorrow and Knuckles cut his eyes over to him. It's not like you didn't know that this was going to happen. I still had hope. Amy wished that Eggman was now clothed like the one on screen. What other evil genius could the title be referring to? You're the only one. You know what? I'm taking that as a compliment. Oh, just wait until you're later on in the show, buddy, because there are a bunch of evil geniuses. And back to bold. Hi, Eggman greeted with a brief wave. Annoyed, Sonic asked, What do you want? What do you want? First of all, thank you for answering the door at such a late hour. The human sounded grateful. I realize what an inconvenience this might be. Get to it, Eggface. Sonic cut him off. Out of bold. Did I have some kind of accident between then and now? Eggman grumbled to himself. Maybe he should take a small vacation until he knew he wouldn't become that. Back to bold. Well, the doctor sighed. I need your help. Back to bold. Slam the door, me. End the episode right here, right now. Back to bold. I know that's Sonic. I know it is. Sonic eyed him like he couldn't believe his ears. You need my help? Yes, my sinister island lair. You know, the ultra high-tech stronghold where I hatched my diabolical schemes to eliminate you. It was destroyed in the storm. Yeah, I saw this. Okay, I'm going to skip that sentence because I don't feel like saying that out loud. Thanks a lot, Knuckles. But anyway, back to out of bold, and I'm skipping that sentence. Knuckles said. But Tails is agreeing with him, saying, I mean, if his lair is so technologically advanced, then a simple storm wouldn't be able to damage it. His plan is janky from the start, Sonic Hub, so I better not fall for it. And we have to use Google. Wait, doesn't jank mean like messed up or something? Thanks, Internet. Of extremely poor or unreliable quality. Oh. So yeah, pretty much messed up. Okay, up here. Alright, back to Bolt. I was hoping I could crash with you and Tails for a few days until my robots rebuild it. Please, don't strand me in this wilderness, Eggman implored. Well, you could certainly use a roof over your head, Sonic uttered before sniffing the air and scrunching his nose. And a bath. Back out of Bold. That's I remember seeing that. I don't want to imagine what Eggman smells like. Let's not imagine that. Whatever comment Sonic was about to say was forgotten when he heard that last part. He barked out a laugh, and Eggman sent daggers. Not a word. Back to Bold. The blue hedgehog was suspicious, however. But how do I know you won't capture me and Tails while we're sleeping? Eggman put a hand over his heart. I swear not to harm you or your fox friend during my stay. I didn't even bring any weapons. Here, check my pants. He went to lift his coat. Sonic waved a brief hand and quickly looked away. No, it's okay. I don't blame you. I wouldn't want to do that either. Stop that. Back out of Bold. Sonic heavily sighed. Two things. Eggy, that was beyond gross, and Tails, please tell me that you're going to be the voice of reason here. I hope so. The kid was frowning at the TV. Having Eggman in their home was the last thing he wanted. They only had him as a guest now because the thing didn't give them a choice. Oh, right. As a guest now because the thing didn't give him a choice. Right. The thing in the... Right. Okay. I'm understanding it's because of where they are watching the TV. That's why Eggman's there. Okay. Back to Bold. So it's only for a few days and it's just you. Just me. Sonic gestured inside with his thumb and Eggman Emerald name, along with Orbot and Cubot. And Orbot and Cubot, their family. The hedgehog groaned in irritation and slammed his door. Out of Bolt. And you didn't kick him out. Why? Knuckles would have shoved the human and his minions back out in the storm without any reasons. I've gotten too nice, Sonic whispered, appalled before repeating it louder. I've gotten too nice. Shadow, hurry and teach me your ways. Wow. Whoa. Oh. Wow. Okay, and here I thought I was, I try to think I'm a nice guy here, but, that's kind of funny. Sonic asking for Shadow to teach him his ways, help me become ruthless and not care about anything. Just help me. I don't want to deal with this. Shut up before I shove these peas down your throat. Tails, write that down for me. Yes, straight up, yes. Comedic gold. Yes. And I'm probably being too loud. Sorry, family. Sorry, people. Okay. Back to Bold. It was now daytime, and Sonic opened his front door with a yawn. Amy, Knuckles, and a female brown badger walked in. Out of Bold. Whoa! Who is that? Amy leaned forward, narrowing her eyes at the stranger. I've never seen her before. Amy would be great at CinemaSins because they do not explain this whatsoever. Anyway, Tails wrapped his namesakes around himself to get more comfortable. Probably just a new friend. Maybe, the pink cat mumbled. The badger better just be a new friend and not a barrier between Amy and Sonic. Oh, trust me, Amy, you have nothing to concern yourself with. Sticks the badger. Oh, I am actually really looking forward to your reactions to her. This could either be really funny or really bad. Most people in the room felt the pink cat's dangerous aura, and the kindergarten doctor threw her cautious looks. Back to Bold. The newly arrived trio gasped in shock to the sight of Eggman stretching in pink pajamas. Out of Bold, and I know this is going to be either really funny or really bad. And yet again, Shadow stifled the yawn, needing to burn that image from his mind forever. I'm not gonna say what you said, Shadow. I mean, technically, I understand that this is a story and you're joking, but seriously, I don't think we need to go that dark right now. Okay, please. Thank you. Knuckles didn't know which version of the Doctor was worse. The one in, well, I don't want to say that. So basically, he's referring to the one in real life or the one on screen. I don't know if they're more surprised that Eggman is there, period, or that he was currently a living nightmare. Um, Sonic speaking out. The latter, probably. Sonic was utterly repulsed, but a smile managed to grow. You know, Egghead, this is good blackmail. I do not own one of those, Eggman opposed, squeezing his toy. But you will, Sonic winked with a snicker. Okay, back to Bold, and it's kind of funny. Eggman, Knuckles shouted, getting in a funny stance along with the girls. They walked away before approaching them. Oh, hey, gang. Didn't know you'd be visiting so early. I'm still in my evil pajamas. He gestured to his rear. They have a... No. No. Oh, yes, I remember that. Oh, no. 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 Great Scott. What do I say to that? That Sega went a little too... That Sega was a little weird with that joke. Okay, out of bold. When the screen panned down, Amy resisted the urge to gag, and I thought it couldn't get any worse. Eggman shared her sentiments. Back to bold. The Doctor then sat in a swinging chair. Knuckles pointed at him, clearly unhappy. What's he doing here? Out of bold again. Knuckles, enduring the visual trauma he was going through, was proud of his future self. I haven't said anything stupid. That's one good thing that's happened so far. Oh, you just wait, Knuckles. You just straight up wait. Cause yeah. And I'm not juggling or singing, Amy piped up. That's good too. Yet, Sonic said, and Tails quietly chuckled beside him. None of that's happened yet. None of that's happened yet. Oh, right, because they think it's all okay, let's go. None of that happened yet. Okay, back to Bold. Right. The blue hedgehog crossed his arms. We have a truce. Tails is letting him stay here until his lair is rebuilt. Out of Bold, Tails' snickers cut off and he slumped in disappointment. So much for me being the voice of reason. Back to Bold. But before I say anything here, Tails is letting him stay here. Is Sonic implying that this is Tails' house and he just lives there? Well, then again, Tails is a smarter one. And Sonic really just runs around everywhere. Does Sonic even need a house? I don't know. It kind of makes sense, though. Oh, well. Ahem. Eggman coughed to gain their attention, raising a finger. Still waiting on that salmon eggs Benedict. Out of Bold. And I cooked for him, too? Tails yelled in anguish, throwing his arms up. What's wrong with me? To be fair, Tails, Knuckles smirked at him, bobbing his head over on a brooding Eggman. You cooked for him today, too. Yeah, sorry, Tails. I gotta agree with Knuckles on this one. Sorry. But the kid sputtered, then he gave up, realizing that he might need to start taking notes from Shadow as well. Touche. Oh, no. Well, actually, that might not be bad. I mean, don't get me wrong. Tails having Shadow's attitude as a straight up jerk would be bad, but Tails as a little tougher, a little less naive would actually kind of be a little bit of a good thing. Mostly because I want him to have his own games one day, but that's a topic for another day. Coming. An exasperated Tails brought over the plate and placed it on the table in front of the Doctor. Eggman leaned over and inspected the meal. He frowned at the fox. I asked for egg whites. There are yellows. See the yellow? I'm trying to watch my cholesterol. And this salmon is farm raised. What is this, prison? Out of Bold. First off, don't complain about food when someone gives it to you. Eggs and salmon, though. Salmon actually sounds pretty good. And why is it prison? Well, then again, okay, I guess okay, maybe take back what I said before I sound like a hypocrite. My bad. Don't complain. Don't complain to like this. Um, like, because I know in the show he's like yelling at Tails, saying, but could you? There's a nicer way of going about it. Like me, I don't eat pork, so if someone was making hot dogs or something, I'd ask, can you please get me beef ones? Because I don't do that. But like if you're doing it in an angry tone, that's kind of not good. Anyway, uh, okay, so Donovan finally texted me back. So yeah. Okay, Donovan, hang on. Uh, I don't know if you're still watching, but if you are, um, here's to you. Hopefully, this will allow him to join the stream. Uh, there we go. All right, there we go. If he joins me, that's fine. If not, whatever. Okay, let's move this screen out of view for now. Oh wait, gotta minus it. Oh crap! You guys can't even see my head. My bad. Okay, let's angle this back here, like so. There we go. Sorry, my hair is a mess. Almost midnight and I'm still doing this, golly. Oh crud! I minus that screen. That shows my stories that I need to be reading. Okay, there we go. Okay, check the battery, check the battery, check the battery, check the battery. 10%. Oh crud, that's not good. That's not good. We're not even halfway through this. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. Okay, out of bold after the whole prison thing. The human stressfully rubbed his forehead. Either I'm a complete idiot, or the plan that on-screen me has conjured up is so brilliant that I can't even. Don't give yourself that much credit, Eggy, Sonic tissed. I wasn't talking to you, rodent. I talk to myself a lot too, Eggman. It's all some evil plot, man. The Badger started, shaking knuckles. First he lures us in with some terrible roommate hooey, then wham! Out comes this 50-foot obliterator, bot that obliterates us all. She took a deep breath. We gotta get out of here. Okay, out of bold, and yes, now they know that Styx is apparently insane. Don't know her name yet, but they'll find out eventually. Sonic whistled lonely, strangely impressed. Wow, Nux, guess we finally found someone who beats your level of paranoia. Oh, Knuckles gritted his teeth. He wasn't that crazy. Being protective of the Emerald doesn't equal being paranoid, Sonic. Maybe a little bit, Knuckles. Maybe. The Azure Hedgie tapped his chin, stretching some sore muscles. He was so going to get Shadow back for this after he healed. Rouge told me that one time you threatened a little caterpillar. That didn't happen! The embarrassed flush on the Guardian's face said otherwise. Don't believe that crook's lies. Apparently that's not a lie. Whatever you say, Nux. It sounded like Sonic didn't believe it at all, and Knuckles dug his fingers in the couch cushion. It had been right after an Eggman fight, and that bug had been looking at him. It had been right after an Eggman fight, and that bug had been looking at him. I'm sorry. Okay. Back to the story and back to Bolt. Guys, Amy's voice was calm. We have to help him. If we don't, we'll be no better than he is. Out of Bolt, and this isn't good. Yeah, no better than the evil scientist who destroys everything in his wake. Amy wildly gestured at the television. I wouldn't say that. I would have wanted him out too. I'd have him stay. I agree with the Badger. He's up to something. The question is, what though? Tails trailed off, paying apt attention to the show. Back to Bold. Eggman smiled, talking around the egg and fish in his mouth. Yeah, you'll be no better than I am. Amy went up to the doctor's side, patting him compassionately on his arm. Think about how this is for him, she gazed at the human. Do you feel scared without a home? Do you feel alone? Are you eating your feeling? Well, actually, that's due to say or whoever's in charge of Sonic Boom. I mean, don't get me wrong, they have a lot of good moments, but they also have a lot of bad moments. And some of these are kind of embarrassing, to be honest. Then again, modern Sonic kind of has become a little embarrassing. Hopefully, Sonic Forces domes up a little on the whole kiddish vibe. Because I think they've been trying to go a little too kiddish with it. I mean, yeah, I understand it. It's Sonic, child, and all that. That doesn't mean you can't have the action and adventure and the awesomeness like the old days. Like before Colors, I guess. Like when Colors came out, it's like they were going for a more kiddish vibe, and it's stuck with that ever since. Okay, my bad. Okay, Amy gaped. I think I like me juggling and singing more. Can we go back to that, please? Was she some sort of therapist now? Why? How about Eggman of all people? She herself needed professional help. Back to bold. And sorry if I didn't say out of bold a second ago. My bad. Sometimes things happen, you know. Eggman scowled, uncomfortable with this development. Somebody get her away from me. Tails glanced up from washing the dishes. Guys, if Eggman needs to say, he can say. Who knows? He may not be so bad after all. Eggman smiled. Out of bold. Yep, Sonic said confidently. You just jinxed us, Tails. The kid just gulped audibly. Oh, oh, in real life, I wouldn't see that as a jinx, but in the show, since I know what's happening, and I know how TV shows work, yeah, it's foreshadowing. Simple, just like that. Tails was now screwing in a bulb in the back of his plane. Pillow fight! Oh wait, back to bulb. Tails was now screwing in a light bulb in the back of his plane. Pillow fight! Eggman came out of nowhere and hit the glass out of the fox's hand, it smashing on the floor. Tails glared at him, namesake twitching in agitation. Out of bulb, Shadow watched on in muted interest. He had a feeling that he would be thoroughly entertained at least for the next few moments. Oh, wow. Back to bold. Sorry if I didn't say out of bold a second ago. Okay, back to bold. Sorry, I probably got a little too close there. Eggman then was trying to whack Cubot and Orbot with his fluffy weapon while Sonic was constantly cleaning up around them. That night, Eggman was sleeping on the couch while Sonic and Tails were on the floor. The man was snoring and laughing intermittently, and the Anthos angrily covered their ears. Oh no. It was the next day. The female badger opened the fridge only to sigh sadly when she saw that the food had been sealed off by Eggman. Back to nighttime, Sonic was asleep on the floor until the feeling of feathers on his face woke him up. He barely had time to notice when he heard pillow fight. Eggman, swinging on a lamp, hurled the pillow at the hero's head. Hard. Okay, back to or out of bold. The ghost of a smirk appeared on Shadow's muzzle. Now that was grade A entertainment. If only that pillow had been filled with bricks. Shadow, I know you hate Sonic, but why would you go to the extreme of wanting to kill him? Okay, maybe it's stupid to me. I guess I'm not angry at Shadow. It's just like just when I think like that, just when I hear him talk like that, it just makes me think like that. I mean, I'm not actually angry or anything. It's just I don't know. I'm not actually angry, but why? Eggman hummed to himself. That was pretty humorous to watch. Tails, who had winced at that last scene, was concerned for the well-being of his brother. That had to hurt. Sonic suddenly was glad that he didn't have any pillows in the living room. Wow. I think I was almost going to say thank you, but I guess that'd be a little stupid in this scenario. Back to the story, or back to Bold, I should say. The sun was up once more. A grumpy Sonic and Tails were sitting on a couch in the shack with Amy occupying an empty chair. That's it, the speedster complained loudly. I've had enough of Eggman. Lair or no lair, he's out of here. Out of Bold? It's about time. It's about time. Back to Bold. You can't just throw Eggman out, Amy argued. Sure, he might be a difficult roommate, but it's only because you guys have a communication problem. Out of Bold, Tails didn't understand what was happening. Whose side are you on, Amy? I'm on yours, the pink cat depended herself? Or depending on herself? Or was that supposed to be defended and it auto-corrected? I'm going with that. The show is telling a different story, Ames. Sonic hissed under his breath when he moved the ice pack to another bruise on his body. You went from wanting to be my sidekick to basically wanting Eggman to annoy me half to death. Hold on, he went. Is this some kind of revenge tactic? Amy shook her head. I wouldn't do that. That's something a future wife would never do. On second thought, keep on revenging. Oh, snap. Whoa. Okay. Amy still thinks she's going to be Sonic's wife in the future, which is clearly not going to happen. Okay. PC's running low, of course. Okay, back to Bold. Communication problem, Tails echoed, flabbergasted. He went me with a pillow. Hard. I'm dizzy, and I have serious short-term memory loss. There was a moment of silence. And I have serious short-term memory loss. Out of Bold. Knuckles couldn't hold his amused snort, and he was on the receiving end of the meanest glare an 8-year-old Earth fox could muster. Oh. I wonder what that would look like, actually. Oh, crud, sorry. That probably did not look good on camera, but that's to happen, you know. Crud, it's midnight. Anyway, back to Bold. Amy stood up and suggested, well, yeah, of course, there was the out of Bold. Knuckles couldn't hold his amused snort. He was on the receiving end of the meanest glare an 8-year-old Earth fox could muster. Back to Bold. Amy stood up and suggested, why don't we sell this with a roommate meeting? Later that same day, Eggman, Orbot, and Cubot were now sitting in the seat Amy previously had. Said Pinkette was beside Sonic and Tails on the couch. Now, Sonic, Amy regarded the hero, talking slowly, you have something to say to Eggman? Yes. How to say this delicately? Sonic pretended to think, scratching his head. You're a horrible roommate and nobody in this house likes you. On any other term, that would be like the rudest thing ever, but because this is like video games and fictional characters, I'll accept this. Okay, out of Bold, the Zer's Beaster nodded adamantly. Couldn't have said it better myself. Wait, did that phrase even work in this situation? Oh wait, that's not in quotation marks. My bad. Wait, did that phrase even work in this situation? He made it work. I get it because he's couldn't have said it better myself, and it's yourself. So yeah, I guess. Back to Bold. Amy deadpan. Let's frame our statements with, when you do this, it makes me feel this. Out of Bold again. Knuckles frowned at the TV. Amy, don't take this the wrong way, but you're getting pretty annoying. He had his neighbor bracing themselves for the appearance of a certain hammer, but it never came. The girl suddenly helped. She's getting on my nerves too. The kid now relaxed. Crisis averted. Back to Bold. Fine. Sonic side. My bad. Okay, let's see. When you live here, it makes me feel angry because you're a horrible roommate and nobody likes you. I mean, I know that's in the show, but I'm sorry. For some reason, I can't not think it's funny right now. After a moment, Eggman started crying, out of Bolt, and another doctor held his head in his hands. Back to Bolt, before blubbering, you're right, I am the worst roommate. I've never lived with other people before.
What about us? Cubot questioned. Eggman stopped crying to clarify. You don't count. Before resuming again. Back to Audible. We seriously can't be believing this. I don't know who said that. I'm gonna guess Sonic. Back to Bold. Amy faced the blue hedgie. Sonic, I think someone here could go from 2 spoonfuls of forgiveness washed down with a tall glass of friendship. What do you think? Sonic frowned but thought about her words anyway. Ugh, he eventually gave in. Eggman, if we give you a second chance, will you promise to shape up out of Bold again? And this is not working, is it? Boy, this is taking quite a while. Oh, snap. We got a lot out of there before we go back. Okay. The Blue Mobian facepalm. This is crazy. Okay, guys. Sonic strained to sit up. His roots were begging for him to lay back down, but no. He had to speak his mind before it exploded. I know it said this might be our future, but I'm starting to doubt that because I refuse to believe. Then what in the heck do you think we're watching? Knuckles furrowed his brow. A show that was impossibly created? I almost rather have it be our futures because if it was a show, then what we're seeing is what other people think we act like. I'm not an idiot. And I'm not a singing therapist who juggles on the side, Amy added heatedly. Shadow stretched his relaxed muscles out more on the sofa. Why don't we just ask the stupid thing that brought us all here? The striped Edgelord sucked in a harsh breath when the bag of peas was yanked out of his hand and thrown across the room by an unseen force. I was using that. His voice was a tad strained. Don't call it names, Shadow, Tails admonished, suddenly nervous. Yup. Yeah. Bad idea. Bad idea. Kind of like a parent situation here. Like, your parents make the rules, you say something bad, you know something bad's going to happen to you. Yeah. All I'm going to say, keep going. Eggman disregarded the scene that had just happened. He was safe as long as he watched what he said, a trait that all hedgehogs seem to lack. Okay. The doctor went back to what Shadow had been saying. Shadow has a point. There's no reason to guess when we can ask. For once, that's a good idea. Sonic paid no attention to the man's glare. The hero cleared his throat and held his ice pack tighter. Just in case. So, thing? What exactly are we watching here? Is this some kind of actual TV show, or is it our futures? Everyone scanned the room, searching for any hints or answers. There was nothing for a long while, and they were about to give up until the lights figured on. 1, twice, 3 times. None of them were surprised that the thing could mess with the electricity. Okay. Sonic was amazed. If he was honest, he didn't think he would have gotten a response. Then he was confused. 3? But I didn't give a third option. But maybe there is one, Tails proposed, racking his brain, that we haven't thought of. If they aren't actors, and if they aren't us in some distant future, then maybe they are us, but they're from a different dimension? It was the only thing he could think of. Something like where Blaze came from? Eamon stroked his mustache, punning this. It's very much possible. Shadow rolled his eyes, inwardly yearning for the coolness of the bag again. Anything's possible in this fun house. Huh. Sonic blinked, zeroing in on the pause screen. That's kind of trippy. Weird. Yeah, I guess. If that's true, then it'll be way less painful to watch, Knuckles commented before smirking at the brothers. Since you two weren't the ones being harassed, that pillow fight scene was kind of funny now that I look back on it. I mean, I still feel bad for them. But does it explain the tragic change in personalities? Tails thought. Amy looked at the kid. Losing sleep isn't fun. It's not our problem anymore now, is it? Eggman hummed as he rolled the ball around on his leg. However, it does bring up the question of why we're watching them. Sonic gingerly reacquainted with the floor. It's a gut feeling, but I don't think the thing is going to answer that one. Keep it rolling, Ames. Of course she's not. Or, it's not. It, he, she. I guess I said she because Caillou Vixen. Yeah. Back to Bold. Sorry that took so long. Eggman ceased his sobbing and snapped his fingers. You bet. Amy stood up and opened her arms wide. Roommate meeting group hug? Back to Audible. Tails was uncomfortably saying this. Does that Amy have a thing for Eggman or... No, Tails, why? No, not after Sonic 06. Sega promised to stay... Well, I don't know if Sega's promised to stay away from that, but they pretty much made it clear that that's not canon. So, no, no more references. That was later gotten... They got rid of that for a reason. We all know why we didn't like that, so let's stay away from that before Sega brings it back. Just saying. Sorry, Kyubi. That's not hatred at you. That's just... Amy was shocked into a disgusted silence, and Eggman was green in the face. For the sake of my sanity, Sonic wished that he hadn't heard that. Now there were images. Oh, you and me both, Sonic. You and me both. Let's say that she's just overly friendly. Thank you, Sonic. And thank you, Kyubi, for clarifying that. Back to Bold. The doctor hugged all of them, and when Orbit and Cubot tried to join, he growled, "Not you!" The robot slumped. The next morning, Sonic yawned while he walked by Eggman doing the dishes, but he paused when the man started singing. Scrubbing all the dishes with my sponge and soap. Scrubbing all the dishes, I'm cleaning up my hole. Cue the horn! He yelled into the scrubber like a microphone. Okay. Out of Bold. Sorry you guys heard me singing again. Sonic's ears were plastered against his head. I want to tell other me to kick Eggman out so he doesn't have to endure his singing. He glanced over to the doctor. Eggy, please keep your voice to yourself, thank you. You don't need to worry about me, Cactus. The human did have a reputation to uphold, unlike the one on screen. Thank you, Eggman. Back to Bold. Well, actually, I guess that doesn't matter since I'm not hearing it. I don't know. I guess when I read these, I get pictures in my head of what's happening, and for some reason... Anyway. Yeah. But of course, that's what happens when people read. They get images in their head. TV in your head, I guess. Yeah. Go. Okay, back to Bold. While Eggman was prettying up a houseplant, Tails was on a nearby couch, leaning on a pillow and examining a device. The doctor picked up the pillow and raised it like he was going to hit the kid. Tails threw him a suspicious look, but Eggman just fronted and returned it to his place with a smile. Back out of Bold. This was too good to be true. Amy was bouncing her knee up and down. Eggman's up to something. Definitely, Tails agreed. It didn't matter if he was in a different place. Eggman was still Eggman. He was never that nice. Back to Bold. Nighttime, Eggman, Sonic, Tails, and its small robots were playing a board game. 37, 38, 39, triple star bonus, kazoo. The man blew a kazoo, startling the mammalian duo. I win again. A visually tired Sonic yawned. That's great. Well, it's getting late. Time to hit the hay. Aw, just one more game. Eggman trying to convince the reluctant brothers. That's what good roomies do. We have fun. Out of Bold. If anyone nudges Eggman bothering me in the middle of the night to play games, they're getting punched in the face, Knuckles muttered. Sonic knew that better than anybody. Do I really want to know here? Back to Bold. I'm all for fun, but aren't you guys exhausted? Sonic turned to the red and yellow bots. Orbot, Cubot. They're robots, Eggman gestured at them. They don't get tired because they have no souls. Out of Bold. The quilled hero scoffed. Try convincing Metal Sonic that. Yep. Hey, why isn't Eggman getting tired? Amy pointed out. He's the most energetic one there. He must have drank tons of coffee, Tails mused. Eggman didn't respond to them. He was starting to see what his other self was planning. Again, he wouldn't have ever done it this way. The man on screen was thinking unnecessarily way beyond the box. It was somewhat clever nonetheless, if he ignored the irritating and degrading quirks. Back to Bold. And of course, you know about the whole out of Bold, blah, blah, blah. Sorry. Anyway. Hey, Orbot angrily cried out while Cubot sighed. He's right. Sonic gave a fleeting wave as he headed for the front door. Whatever. Good night, guys. Eggman quickly blocked his way. Wait, don't leave. Just hang out a little longer. I'm so lonely, he then begged. Please, Rumi? Sonic exhaled deeply before turning around, obvious bags under his eyes. Out of bold. Just push him out the way. When he rolls away, cut and run. Roll? I don't roll, Roman. Oh, I get it. How do you make an egg roll? You push it. It's kind of funny. Entertaining at the least. Could have fooled me. Eggman hurled the smiley stretch, followed one of Sonic's purple swatches, and grinned victoriously when the speedster groaned in pain. The man then frowned. He really didn't feel like getting the toy again. He really should have thought that through. It was still worth it. Lazy-itis, otherwise known as teenagerism disease. That's what my family has dubbed it. I'm not saying that I've never had a part in that. And probably one of the reasons. Anyway, back to the story. And back to Bold. Yay! Eggman cheered happily, blowing his kazoo once more. Late in the night now, the boys were watching television. We now return to the Comedy Chimp Show with your host, Comedy Chimp. Out of Bold. I've never heard of him before, Amy mumbled thoughtfully. It could be because they were in an alternate dimension, but he could have still existed, right? Back to Bold. I almost didn't make it to the show tonight. I had to go to the doctor. I had a backache. Really? Out of Bold. That's why he's horrible. Michael scratched his chin, lips twitching downwards. That's supposed to be a joke? Hopefully he doesn't stick around like that annoying bee or Sonic Shop. Yeah, I swear if I would have heard another actually from him, I would have broken something. Like his neck. Whoa, Shads, your murder is showing. Yeah, Shadow, stop that. Yeah, like, my bad, people watching this. Shadow can be a little dark. Back to Bold. Eggman cackled at the joke while Sonic and Tails looked miserable, their bags more prominent. I didn't really like that doctor anyway. I think he used to be a mechanic. He tried to fix my problem with a monkey wrench. Out of Bold. Sonic gave a thumbs down. Boo! Back to Bold. Another voice chimed in as Eggman basically shook the borderline unconscious duo awake. Oh, you, my friend, are one witty simian. Ah, I get it. Like a mammal, I guess. A lengthy yawn escaped Sonic's mouth. Morning came. Knuckles, Amy, and the Badger let themselves in. You're still hanging with Eggman? The echidna. Oh, the echidna. My bad, Knuckles. How many hours of sleep did you get? Sonic held his head in his hands, mumbling out 0. Out of Bold. Aha! Tails snapped his fingers when the light bulb went off. I see. That a sleepy Sonic is so adorable, Amy cooed, smiling softly. Of course. Of course. No? The fox looked at her strangely before shaking his head. I see what Eggman's scheme is. Okay, now that just had me thinking about when episode 40 rolls around, because episode 40 is another one of my favorites. For those of you who don't know, that's the episode with Zoe. In other words, the one called Tails' Crush. Oh boy, I have a feeling that the yellow fox that is the 8-year-old yellow fox is going to be very, very embarrassed by that episode. Either embarrassed, although I do want to see his first reaction to seeing Zoe on screen. He's probably going to take up the screen. He's probably going to be like eyes all up in the screen. Well, I was going to show it, but never mind. I was going to have my face in the screen, but never mind. Anyway, Moving on. Eggman grunted. It was about time, Fox Boy. It was obvious. He looked away from the kid when he puffed his cheeks in agitation. Sleep-depriving heroes in order to successfully strike. Even though he could have gotten the same result by just trapping them. Sonic smirked at him. Oh yeah? And how many times has that worked out for you, Egghead? When Eggman glared at Knuckles' tiss. You walked right into that. His words died up when the sound of a ball bouncing grabbed all of his focus. Multiple pairs of eyes drifted to watch a smiley stretch ball roll across the floor. Their gaze then shifted to the hedgehog who had dropped the ball. Shadow was fast asleep on the sofa, breathing evenly. Guess he really needed his beauty sleep, huh? Sonic joked. He would go over there, but he liked his limbs attached to his body. Yep. Should we wake him up? Knuckles gave Tails a pointed look. That's the equivalent of saying, should we poke that feral tiger? Let's leave him alone until he shows up in the episode. If he does. He's not going to show up in the episode. Back to Bold. It's stage 2 of his evil plot, man. The Badger danced nervously on her toes. We are minutes away from him summoning his big obliterator bot with its obliterator legs and its obliterator teeth. Sticks. Out of Bold. Sticks? Tails repeated, leaning back on his arms. That's an interesting name. It fits her. Amy was over her little spell. Maybe she could pay Eggman to keep Sonic up one night. No. And she gave the Badger, a once-over. Just look at her. Looks like she just came from the jungle or something. She does look a little, Sonic struggled for the right word. Dusty. More than Knuckles is. Don't make me throttle you, Sonic. The thing didn't mind Shadow beating you, so it shouldn't mind me either. I have to change things up a bit, of course. Really, I guess I should have said that to Coyote. Anyway, back to the story. That got Sonic thinking. He could have been protected from being hurt, but he wasn't. What was up with that? He hadn't done anything wrong to it. Sonic got a bad feeling that the thing had laughed at his pain. Back to Bull. Amy got closer to Sticks, hands on her hips. Stop being paranoid. Eggman was leaving the room in the background. Eggman's lived here for 2 days and he hasn't hatched a single evil scheme. Out of Bold, Tails frowned at that. Had the other in him dumbed down too? Why hadn't he spotted Eggman's plan beforehand? Why was this random girl the first to figure it out? Granted, she probably didn't know that she was right, but still. Yeah. Back to Bold. They all were then distracted when a hearty laugh came from outside. Amy, Knuckles, and Sticks filed out quickly while Tails and Sonic were a little slow on the uptake. What's so funny? Unfocused Sapphires trained on Eggman as Tails dragged his feet. Remember when I said my island fortress was destroyed by a storm? Eggman jumped down from the rock he was standing on. I may have fibbed. And by may have, I'm pretty sure you mean you did. He sneered, walking in front of the group. You see, I kind of faked the destruction of my fortress as an excuse to live with you and tire you to the point of exhaust. Seeing that Sonic was falling asleep on his feet, Eggman slapped him awake. Tire you to the point of exhaustion. The human ran over to a nearby tree. So you'd be too tired to stop Obliterator Bot. Out of Bone. Well, I guess it doesn't matter what dimension you're in. Sonic returned the ice pack to his face, sending Eggman a jeering smile. You always love to explain your plans, huh, Eggy? Eggman glowered. If I had that ball, I would hit you again with it. There's a lot of holes in his plan, though, Knuckles pointed out. Well, at least one big one. He didn't even care about me, Amy, or the Badger. Amy and I could easily take down some stupid robot. Sonic shrugged. So he didn't think things all the way through. What else is new? The human crossed his arms. I would say my hatred of you, but that's been there since day one. Back to Bold. Eggman jumped out of the way when that tree toppled over, revealing a large red robot much bigger than Burnbot. Out of Bold. Amy flipped her clothes over her shoulder. Yeah, we can definitely take it down. We dealt with worse. Back to Bold. Eggman smugly giggled while Stick started to freak out. I knew it! He did have an obliterator bot. Why doesn't anyone ever believe me? She grabbed Amy's shoulders and shook her. It's not like I'm paranoid. Sting glared at her shadow. Stop following me! Audible. Tell slowly blink. Does she not know how shadows work? Or she probably doesn't, Knuckles thought. Like she doesn't know to ever stop yelling. Her voice is harsh enough as is. Knuckles, that was rude, Amy admonished. Say you're sorry. As if. She can't hear me, Amy. When a hammer materialized right in front of his face, he suddenly had a change of heart. I may have been too harsh. Amy nodded victoriously before putting her weapon away. Okay. Back. Okay. Back to Bolt. Enough, Eggman yelled. Obliterator bot, destroy Sonic and his 4 friends. Fortress, the bot misheard. Fortress. Destroy fortress. Destroy island fortress. Eggman began to panic, tinkering with his wrist controller. What? No, that's not what I said. Aura and Q-Out poked their heads out of the door. We're still working out a few kinks, the former bot said. Out of Bold. Okay. Sonic barked out aloud. I got something here. Huh. Sorry, guys. Excuse me for a second, guys. Sorry about this. Uh, okay, so out of that, back to this. I'm pretty sure that'll get and fixed or something. Okay, Sonic walked on the lab. They didn't have to do anything this time for you to blow your plan up. Extra, if you made thwarting your plans that easy, here's a tip. Just retire. Eggman didn't deem that statement was worthy of a response. He would retire as soon as he took over the world. No sooner. Hence why we still have so many Sonic games. Not that that's a problem, I enjoy them, but still. Back to Bold. The doctor was clinging onto the huge robot's leg as it walked. Obliterate bot. Do not destroy Island Fortress. Do not destroy Island Fortress. Affirmative. Playing upset bow music while destroying Fortress. Speakers popped out of the mech's shoulders, producing loud music. Really? I know that's not how you be there, but still. Like, just really, why? Out of Bold. Why would he even... Tails, don't question it, Knuckles advised. Save your breath. Back to Bold. The robot stepped over a drowsy Sonic, who was watching it go. No! Eggman ran over to the hedgehog. Sonic, you have to help me. Why? He crossed his arms. He's your obliterator bot, the doctor swiftly explained. Because if you don't, I'm truly stuck living with you until I build a new island fortress. Out of Bold. Not if you just leave him in the streets, Sonic exclaimed. What's so hard about that? He's too nice, remember? Tails chuckled. And he doesn't have a nearby shadow to take notes from. Well, yet. Back to Bold. Sonic instantly perked up and made a fist. Let's roll. Out of Bold again. Amy pursed her lips as the scene changed. She and Knuckles were to attack the thing before it left. Why didn't their counterparts do that? They were so weird. I'm glad they eventually got to that and were all 5 of them working together. Back to Bold. Outside Eggman's lair, Tails landed his plane while Eggman parked his hover craft. Obliterator bot was really attacking the fortress's roof. Man, I'm tired, just like them. They all left their vehicles. Gotta stop him. But so tired, Tails muttered before slowing to the ground and falling asleep. Knuckles ignored those two, focusing on the bot. He must have a weak spot. Maybe there's a clue on the ground. Sonic pointed downwards before sinking to his knees. It's soft, soft, bed-like ground. Sonic, stop it before I fall asleep. Out of bolt again. Amy squealed happily at his sleepy state, giggling, and Sonic knew that he couldn't let himself even get tired around her, like ever. She might pounce if he did. And he liked living. Back to bold. Sticks went. My bad. If I didn't say it, out of bold, blah blah blah. I think I did. Anyway, Why am I rushing? Anyway, stop it. Foxtrot. I really hope you guys didn't hear that. I almost pronounced my real name, I think. Sticks went over to stomp on Sonic, who woke up at the harsh treatment. What's wrong? Are we under attack? The hedgehog jumped to his feet as his memory kicked in. He yawned. Oh, right. Knuckles turned to the human. Eggman, you built that thing. How do we take it down? Out of bold. Alright, I don't get it, the Guardians bro. See, last episode he was so glad that he could separate himself from that beefy and airheaded kid on screen. He was an idiot, but now he's, I wouldn't say smart, but okay, have to get past that. Okay, a tick formed on the Guardian's forehead, and he grumbled under his breath about hedgehogs that refused to shut up. Okay, we'll just skip that part, keep going, yada yada yada. We're almost done, thankfully. Eggman said, back to bold. By activating two kill switches at the same time, they're inside the lair. Eggman walked forward and pointed to his right. There. Then he pointed to his left. And there. Oh, come on, Sonic. Alright, Amy, Knuckles, Sticks, distract that metal monstrosity. He picked up Tails by his arm. Tails and I are on the kill switches. Eggman, you have to show us how to deactivate them. The human nodded. Amy stepped forward and opened her arms. Pre-mission group hug? Sonic rose a hand to stop her. No. He took off. Okay, first thing I'm going to say, why are Sonic and Tails know they're tired, so why on earth would they do this? This isn't on Kyuubi, this is on Sega here. Still, no hate towards Sega either, but oh boy, I'm really tired. Probably need something to drink. But why would they go after something that they know they're going to have to work for if they are, like, this tired? I mean, granted, I know in the show Tails has to do with some computer stuff, but they didn't know that at first. And not to mention, Eggman is still smart enough to be able to shut that stuff down, so still, Eggman can have the whole machinery type things and send like Amy and Sticks or Amy and Knuckles or Knuckles and Sticks in there to take care of it. Let Sonic and Tails get some rest because they really don't have to do anything. Then again, I guess these guys are pretty much saying that. Oh. Excuse me, that's embarrassing. Let's keep going. Okay, anyway. Out of bold. Be persistent, other me. Amy was disappointed that there wasn't a hug, but it passed quickly. Most Sonics weren't at that point yet. You'll get him eventually. Not in this lifetime, Sonic whispered to himself, relieved that him and this show was on the same wavelength. It always seemed easier for that Sonic. The other Amy wasn't as direct in her approaches. Back to bold. The sleepy speedster zoomed through the laser defense system, running on the wall. Lasers shot at and missed him. Tails flew over to the control panel and pressed a power switch, deactivating a laser wall in front of Sonic. The Hedgie then barely dodged two hot beams, losing his footing. Sleep caught up to him as he slid. The laser wall was about to collide into, disappeared, and he woke back up when he lost his momentum. Out of bold again. Amy was smiling too wide, and Knuckles was becoming a bit worried. Do you need to spend some time in the kitchen to calm yourself down? I'm fine, I'm fine. He's just too cute, don't you think? Knuckles could have barked. Well, that's a guy reaction right there. Tails opened up a panel filled with wires. Excuse me. He was too exhausted to figure them out. Sonic approached the closet, but he didn't make it in favor of snoring on the ground. Tails pressed a button that revealed the kill switches. Eggman stomped over to Sonic, the hero startling away. Jam the kinetic barrier processor. The kinetic barrier processor. Sonic threw him a confused look and pulled the lever. The human ran over to Tails, ordering, "Okay, power down the central operating system." The doctor grabbed the tired Tails' hand and put it around the switch. On the other side, Sonic had slumped to the ground, letting the lever go. Out of bolt. Why can't Eggman just hold one of the switches? No one answered Tails because they couldn't think of why that Eggman couldn't. Relying on barely conscious heroes wasn't the smartest thing. That's literally what I said. I'm glad Caillou and I are on the same page. And also thank you for making Tails the one to do that. Like, that's cool. I'm fanboying too much, aren't I? Anyway, back to Bold. Outside, Obliterator Bot cut off a part of the fortress before dropping to the ground. Knuckles, Amy, and Styx ran up to it. "I knew you were coming," the Badger growled, pointing at the robot, "but you will never obliterate Styx, because Styx is She gave up, saying proudly, "You can't kill me." Out of Bold. Amy snickered. At least she tried. Knuckles was less amused. Well, she's definitely going to be a reoccurring person. She's way better than that beaver, Tails pointed out. Yup. She was borderline crazy, sure, but she wasn't blatantly annoying. Yeah, that's kind of the point. She's got spunk, Sonic grinned. A necessity for someone on Team Sonic. That reminds me. I actually just bought Sonic Heroes. I know. But I got it for free. It came with the PS2 I bought, so yeah. And I also got Shadow the Hedgehog out of that deal too, so yeah. Awesome. Sorry, the Team Sonic thing made me think of it, and I haven't said anything. Maybe I'll do a video on its own. Okay. A necessity for someone on Team Sonic. Oh, Spunk, Knuckles snorted. She's going to fight the bot with a boomerang. She's insane. To each his own. Back to Bold. Jam the kinetic barrier processor. Eggman frankly shouted to a sleeping Sonic. The Hedgie popped up and yanked the lever, but he almost immediately dozed off again. Tails was out of commission as well. Eggman glanced back and forth between them before taking out and blowing into his kazoo. Sonic and Tails instantly woke up and pulled the kill switches, which caused Obliterator Bot to shut down. The speedster raced outside with a slab of discarded metal. He jumped up in the air and yelled, "Pillow fight!" before knocking the robot's head off. It promptly exploded. Out of Bold. Ugh. It only took one hit. Tails tilted his head. Maybe that Eggman doesn't have as much experience or something. Sonic rolled his eyes. That was a compliment to our Eggman, Tails. We can't. I'm guessing can't let his ego grow any bigger than it already is. The human stash flared. It doesn't matter how much mine grows because it'll never match up to your oversized arrogance. Dessert Anthro scratched his nose with a smile. You're right, Eggman. Thanks. That was supposed to be an insult, you little... Like you just said, he's arrogant. Back to Bolt. Yes, Eggman cheered. When his fortress blew up again, he slouched. No. Out of Bolt. Amy was twirling one of her clothes. So that was all for nothing? I'm not even surprised, Knuckles murmured. With these cartoons, everything is pretty much for nothing. Back to Bold. Sometime later, Sonic and his crew were peacefully sitting on the beach. Eggman scampered up behind them with suitcases. Hey, fellas. As you know, my fortress is now a smoking room, so I was wondering maybe you plop down into a reclining chair. If I could stay with you for a little while, just until it's built back? Sonic ran back to Eggman's lair, dropping off the doctor, the chair, and the suitcases. He sprinted away without a single word. Out of bold again. Yes, that was perfect, Sonic praised. He would applaud, but his body wasn't ready for that yet. No, it's not. The nice streak is over. Eggman just shook his head, appalled. His double really needed help. Tails flicked his bangs out of his face. Now let's just hope that they don't fall for it again. If they do, they're completely helpless, Knuckles uttered as he plucked one of the many loose threads on his mail off. He weakly glared at the sleeping striped hedgehog. He owed him new gloves. Oh yeah, because he tried to hold him and he was spinning. Rip the gloves. Strands are strands. Uh, back to the uh, back to Bold, yeah. Amy, Orbot, and Cubot sauntered up. The Pinkette was holding a balloon. I can keep you company. Let's explore your feelings about being a roommate. Now pretend this balloon is your self-esteem. Stop! Stop! Eggman jumped to his feet and ran away screaming. Stop! Stop! Okay. Done with the Bold. And no more of that for this chapter. We're almost done. Thankfully, I've been reading this for like 3 hours. Not that I have a problem reading this, but doing it for a video for 3 hours somehow is like really, really exhilarating or something. Probably not the word I was looking for, but really tiring. There we go. That and the fact that it's almost 1 o'clock in the morning. Oh boy. Anyway, out of Bold. Same, Eggman. Same. Sonic felt oddly empathetic. I really don't get her, Amy complained. Why does she want to be a therapist so badly? That's supposed to be a so, I imagine. Autocorrect. It must be. The red echidna stretched in his seat, gently cracking a couple bones. Only she knows. He kind of wanted to go outside and get some fresh air, but the thing, he halted his train of thought right there. The peas had been hurled across the room. He could be next if he wasn't careful. Oh, okay. So bad things. That's what she wants to do when she grows up, tells guests with a shrug, giggling, along with entertaining the masses with her other talents. Eggman tapped his slipperless foot on the floor. Enough of that pink menace. He felt the heat of Amy's glare. Let's move on so I can get out of here as soon as possible. Sonic clicked his tongue, eyes swiveling over to the man. Leave the impatience to me, Egghead. He was focused on the television. But yeah, we can plow through. He read the title of the next episode. Translate this? This can be about anything. Well, let's figure it out. Amy pressed play on the remote, but nothing happened. She frowned, perplexed. Huh? She tried again and again. It's not working. Knuckles grabbed the remote from her and rapidly jabbed the right button. Come on. You're already keeping us in here. At least work for us. Kel's attention drifted from the echidna to the striped anthro. He swallowed thickly. Guys, I think I might know why it won't play. What is it? Spit it out, bud, Sonic prompted him. Tails gestured over to the sleeping shadow. Maybe the thing thinks that missing half of an episode is enough. So we need to wake him up? Amy asked hesitantly, somewhat fearing the answer. As if he was hearing their conversation, Shadows softly snored before turning over, his back to them now. He then curled up into his ball, his sharp spine protruding out in many directions. In other words, don't mess with him. Sonic shook his head. Let's give him a few minutes. Yup. End of chapter. Reviews and constructive criticism are welcome. Well, usually I comment here, but I don't think I might do that right now. Oh boy. Kyubi, all I'm gonna say is, well, after I read these other 3 reviews that I missed earlier, because of course we're gonna do that. Okay, I don't know if anybody is still watching. Golly, it's 3 hours long. All right. Anyway, Starfiction 123 says, lol, Modern something. C might want to be knocked out by Shadow coming up on Sonic Boom Season 2 because there's a lot of Sonic games approaching. Well, I mean, I'm all for them. Modern Amy's going to have a cow with it, but poor Modern might not be able to take it. Well, okay, sorry. Sometimes I don't understand these, but I think I got the gist of it. Basically, the Modern guys might want to be knocked out by Shadow coming up on Sonic Boom Season 2. Sonic, oh, okay. Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, Amy will have a cow with Son Amy. Modern stuff ain't gonna take it. I mean, boy. Yikes. So basically, guys talking about season 2. Okay. Sorry if I can't understand the comment. Starfiction 123. That's actually a cool logo, and I think it's pretty nice actually. Yes. I I I I loved it. It was very well done and can't even wait to see the next episode. Amy will be very happy to see that Buster almost said Amy loves but then she's confused that her counterpart is shy to admit that she loves Sonic. Oh, I can't wait for the next one. Oh yeah, that's actually a good episode. I like translate this. I need to rewatch these again. P.S. Keep on updating and continuing. Oh, and it's Icy Pink Flower again. Hi, Icy Pink Flower. Okay, Burning Underground from earlier. Really like the logo too. Says, I just love this story so much. Can't wait for another update. You're not the only one, bro. So, really, what I should do here, because I'm tired. Oh, crud. Oh, crud. I'm tired. I'm so sorry, guys. I didn't even notice. I need to get better at this. But yeah. Oh, and if you guys are thinking, well, perhaps get that out of view. Anyway, guys, oh, crud. Now it's even worse. Okay. No, oh, whatever. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. I probably just brought too much attention to that. As always, check out the original in the description down below. Camera's not keeping up with my lips, apparently. Alright, I'm tired. I'm gonna go get some grape juice. And Kyubi, thank you. Keep making these stories. I'm working on my own fan fiction. Probably didn't need to say that. But anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. I'm sorry if this seems like a little rushed exit, but really, I'm just tired. I'm probably just going to crash on this bed right here. Oh, my arm. Oh, my arm. Oh, still not healed from the other day. Okay, so I'm going to go get something to drink, guys. Maybe some cookies and a cupcake. I don't know. I didn't need to say that either. I didn't need to. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Check out Kyubi's story because she's amazing. She's like the most amazing writer ever for like Sonic fanfiction and stuff. And I really think Sega should just hire her to be a writer for games because then people would like a lot more people, even not just like our diehard Sonic fans, would be like Sonic is the best. Like you already have people who like the Sonic games, but if you had a writer like Kyubi back in the stories, we'd have so many games of the year for Sonic. Anyway, guys, that's all I can say for now. I have to update the description of this video, but thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. And regardless of if you did or did not, And I should probably comment to Yubi telling her I reacted. But anyway, regardless of if you did not, or if you did or did not enjoy this video, have a God bless day, and I'll see you around.